Hey, Jax, nobody cares about your new apartment.
It's a townhouse.
You're not helping. Zach and Benji forever in lights on the marquee. And Nia, Janet so does not look like Princess Jasmine. Get it together, girl. Welcome to Showmance, the only show on the internet doing deep dives on shows with no depth.
Dives as deep as the list is long of the new Party of Schwartz members.
Oh my God.
I'm talking record-breaking campaign
Skyrocket
numbers.
through the roof.
I wonder what I did to like really hit the message home last week. I'm just feeling a little bit like Taylor Swift right now.
Honestly, this was a banner week for memberships. It really was. Yeah.
Tom Schwartz is your Travis Kelce? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, like you put your shine on him and now everyone's buying the Schwartz jersey.
Also, before we get too deep, I would like to start
yeah.
the show with a comment
Okay.
from Meteor Wine. I sent that wine, this wine here that I'm hugging, in an attempt to keep Mike on set until the Final Valley episode ends. I will leave if we don't open this freaking bottle of wine that I've been begging you to open since last week and you won't let me. So I'm doing it or I'm leaving. I sent out in an attempt to, there's rules for this wine.
Mom, I'm real sorry. It's over for
Mark
you.
on Meteor. That was the best hashtag ever.
Wait, who is that?
I think it's only gets better. Wrote Mark on Meteor, but I was pissing
It
myself.
does seem to. It's
The
like
thing to
you're.
do?
Yeah, let me get the glasses.
Yeah, listen.
This day got so much better.
It worked.
Yes.
It worked,
Fuck
Meteor.
yeah, Mike.
Hey.
Don't leave me.
But also,
Hang
there's
in.
a three-part
Three-part finale we
reunion.
need to
I'm
get
just
through.
saying. I don't. If you got the UPS tracking numbers, let me know.
No, sorry. I misquoted. It was McFix wrote.
It was Vic.
Yeah. Mark, quote, if you wish you can, then you can.
Yeah.
Someone needs to put this quote on something. Hashtag Mark on the Meteor. That is Mark's on the Meteor tonight. Cheers, queers.
Cheers to the Valley being over.
Cheers to
Finally.
having a friend in the wine biz. Fuck the Valley.
As soon as this bottle's empty, I'm out of here.
We
Katie,
have
and
to,
I'll
we have
stick
to review
around.
Sheena Shea's book next.
Oh, I forgot we were doing that.
Good shit. I have never seen you drink wine like this. I feel like I don't even know you.
Never had wine like this.
Wait, I had something to say about this episode or this season.
I've never had a
glad
thing
that
to
it's
say
over?
in
About
your
anything.
goddamn
I
life.
know. And I said, oh, I should write this down. And I was like, nah, I'll remember it. Turns out I don't remember it, which is weird for me.
You drink more wine, you'll remember.
I will. So we start off at Lala's house. She just gave birth. They were talking about how insufferable Jax was being on the
Yeah.
vacation. I was noticing how insufferable Janet is all the time when she's sitting there being like, I hope you punch me. I hope you have to go to jail and they take off your wedding ring and you sit in prison and shut up. It's not even a good burn, Janet. It's just like you're just an annoying, petulant child. That's what you sound like. I remembered what I was going to say. Wow, that's so exciting. Have you guys seen Janet's billboard on Sunset Boulevard?
I've seen something of her, like she's doing like a skincare line. Yeah.
It's like I'm sure a friend of hers had like a skincare line and asked her to be the moodle on it.
You know what's funny is like, even if it is your friend, like that's some bad business. Like, why are you're asking like the most hated woman on Bravo to be your face?
I was thinking about this, and you know the old adage, no press is bad press?
Yeah.
Like,
oh, so.
That was before
And you want to.
social media.
no, it wasn't.
No. And also, she does have great skin.
And we're talking about it.
Yeah.
So it's all working.
Yeah.
I just thought it was wildly obnoxious that she was talking like that. I get it.
It
You
was
don't
so
like Kristen.
Karen.
It's just,
It was so Karen, but it was also so familiar. Like, it was very detailed. Like, you've had that experience. That's a DUI.
Oh,
that's how you know about the baggie and what goes in the baggie and how demeaning it is to get the baggie back. Like, she knew like, that's I feel like that's from within.
Well, first of all, I just want a friendly reminder: snitches get stitches. Fucker. Like she's like planned this whole. Like, would you not just think? I wonder how I got myself. How did this woman? What would spur this woman who just got engaged, greatest day of her life, and she's literally storming off to the other side of a boat because you have pissed her off so much, even though she just got a 5-carat rock on her finger, like or 4 or whatever it was.
It's 4.2 carats.
Pretty,
She'll say yes.
Pretty decent rock, yeah. And you have pissed her off that much, and so now all you're thinking of is like a play-by-play of like what she'll have to endure if she does that thing that she said. Like, what did you say to spur her to do that? And then you're thinking about a play-by-play of what she's going to have to endure. And it is so very Karen, and I have to believe that she's not heard herself be called Karen before.
1,000%.
So like she never thought like this is a very Karen thing to say, and just hitting it on the head. Like
she's not self-aware. So no, she's not thinking that,
Yeah.
in my humble estimation of her. Okay. Then did I say estimation or estimation?
I don't know.
I meant to say estimation. I don't know what's happening. The meteor's hitting. But what I really wanted to say about all of this is, as I'm watching it, she comes out and says shit. This is not the first time she said something where I'm just like, that's just such a glass house statement.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you better be living this perfect existence if you want to talk like that, because you're so obnoxious and you're so self-righteous and you're so holier than thou. And so like, even your apologies are self-righteous. Like, and I know I owe her an apology, but none of it feels genuine.
No.
So I don't believe you when you're saying this. I think you're saying it to buy you into the viewer's good graces, right?
Yeah.
And it's not working. And I just feel like if you're going to talk like this, you need to recognize then that you have to you need to be Nia then and come correct in every situation that you are ever in, televised or not televised from here on out, because we know you now.
Yeah.
And it's so obnoxious. And it's the math that she's not doing. I guess she went out of the country recently. I don't know. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Because she said like the social media hate's just too bad. And here's the deal. I don't want anyone to be getting taken down in social media. These are shows. Relax, Scott. Like, she didn't run over someone's grandmother and leave them, on the side of the road to die. She's an unsavory character.
Yeah.
Okay. But here's the deal. You can't throw this shit out continuously over a season and not think people are going to have opinions about you.
Yeah.
And so she's just not doing the simple math. Instead of saying like, wow, why does everyone hate me? Because of your action. And by the way, I don't hate you. I just don't think you're great for this show, and maybe this shouldn't be your job. I just feel like it's simple math.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This made me think about today was how, when we're talking about Love Island, and how I was like, you could totally tell when Ace's language started switching, and it's like either somebody clued him in on what the comment sections have been saying about you, or like either a producer did, or somebody that was in the villa or the holding cell before. And then I realized like, no, the Valley is like I was thinking, is there any overlap? There isn't. They finished shooting the season long before it even premieres. There is no like, oh well, we were just filming the finale. I think the only thing that they film is the reunion after the fact, like while the show's been airing for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think so. So I think it's funny that like Jason and Janet are still so new and dumb about this whole thing that like she doesn't know. I don't think she does. She clearly does. She doesn't know just to self-gauge and be like that could be taken this way or that way or whatever. Like, I think that her and Jason think that they crushed this season. Like, Jason, just the way he's acting, even all the way up through the finale, when we get there, like if you had any awareness of like what this looks like you wouldn't, because he's only gotten more and more. Like he's just been gaining confidence and gaining like, it's a good time.
Jason's representative has left the building.
Yeah.
Now we're seeing who he is.
Yeah, exactly. He's like oh, where's my hair and makeup team here? Is anyone here yet? What, gotta wait all day. Like you could just tell he's in that part of he feels like he is in his things are rolling right along for him. He's getting real used to this whole thing because he has no idea. Neither of them.
This show revealed itself to be, we've all probably had this experience, and if you haven't, then you're probably the dude whose beehole's getting licked on. So this is like
gonna make it.
You can close that loop for me. I
mean, whatever. Kristen said it. Why were you kissing my tongue in my ass this whole season? This whole episode showed that the name of this episode should have been "Why Are You Tonguing My Ass?" These boys with Jax, the girls with Kristen, like this.
I have a whole note about that.
This episode showed me this is what it's like when the executives from a certain network come to a show day because Taylor Swift is the guest performance, and so they're bringing the kids, and they come, and they haven't been to set in like fucking 6 months, and they haven't made any phone calls or Zooms, and they go tell the EPs how shit should be on the show they've been running for 12 or 15 years, and you got to do the dance. You got, everyone's like, Deva,
Great idea.
Oh, dude, that's so, I can't believe, dude. Well, so that,
oh my
and
God,
then while
bro,
they walk
save
by,
the show.
they're shaking the hand, and hey, dude, I'm seeing what you hear. Oh man, so great. The kids, how the kid, that can go out. But like, that's life. That's what you do when the boss shows up. Because you want your job. You got to keep your job. You got bills to pay. That's all this episode was. That's what's happening. And then once in a while, one little pet gets brought away for the weekend or to the house for a barbecue. And then they show up to work that next week, and they're fucking Jason. They're like, what's up?
Yeah.
They've changed. Their whole personality's changed. They got invited. They're in the inner circle now. Oh no, me and the boss are chums. Look at us on Instagram. And it's a whole new vibe.
Yeah.
You won. You got in. You may be ousted in 3 weeks' time for the new dipshit that did a better job at stroking cocks. But like for now, you're in. That's Jason. It's ironic that Luke is there trying to get in on this, even though he's still like Colorado tough guy. Like, well, I'm gonna fucking call you. Okay, dude.
Well, we're there. We're at. Because are you talking
just
about when they go?
doing a generalization on the episode and the show, and now my thoughts on this show and why you guys might need to find someone else to host this next season is like, this is all this. This is just a watch party of like what happens when the boss shows up and how everybody clamors on to save their job.
Are you saying the boss is Jax?
They think the boss is Jax. They think the boss is Kristen, right? Even Michelle, like they're all in on it. Again, not jumping ahead, but later on at the thing when Michelle was like, Kristen tried to walk away. Have we ever seen Michelle look at someone and be like, dude, come on, just finish this conversation? Ever in this whole 2 years?
Hold on, where are we?
That's why I said I'm jumping ahead. But later at the Zen party, when they call out Janet,
Okay.
and Janet's like, okay, and she goes and tries to leave, and Michelle is like, Janet, just stick around. Like she's borderline grinning. She's like, just stick around. Just stay for the end of Janet. Just stay for the end of this one conversation. It's just so like, this is our job. Just stay, because this is what we have to do. We got to kiss
Okay.
it. We all got to.
Okay,
So,
I want you to elaborate more when we get there because I'm a little lost on that part. But I understand what you're saying, that it seems like, okay, first of all, the first scene, one thing about Lala, I just want to say that I think that Lala has been a lovely friend
Lovely.
of. She hasn't been thirsty.
Nope.
Like I know a lot of people aren't Lala fans. Courtney and I are big Lala fans, and she's been super low key and mellow and not thirsty. The hardest she went all year was yelling at Jesse,
Which I was okay with.
I think everyone was, and I
Yeah.
think that we welcomed someone finally taking him on that like had something to say and had probably said it in the mirror before she got there and has a sharp tongue and is just like laser focused on a
worthy
takedown.
opponent.
A worthy opponent. Yeah, she's better than him. You know,
Beyond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think, because I keep now thinking, I'm just enjoying every single beat of this show, knowing that Jax not only not only knowing that Jax won't be there, but knowing that Jax has no idea that he won't be there. Like it's a double
Watching
layered
him
thing.
try so hard to sing for his supper and now knowing that they didn't ask him back
Yeah.
is
Funny.
pretty
Yeah.
great.
Yeah,
Cheers to
it's pretty
that.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So Lala just that's got us all thinking probably of like who is going to be stepping in like a bigger role or whatever. And I also just read Sheena's book. I've so
gonna
many
talk
things.
about
We'll
it,
talk
right?
about that. So we've got Lala, Sheena and Brock, and Tom Schwartz, and those are the ones that we know. And I've got a obviously Schwartz is a shoe-in, but I'm in for Lala for sure. I just think she'd be a great ad.
Well, one of the I agree with that, but one of my main reasons that I think she'd be a great ad is because you could tell in this scene, Lala doesn't fuck with Janet.
You don't
Like-
think?
No.
Oh my God, go on, because I thought that she did.
See, I think she's there. Janet's there because I think Lala in a social setting, yeah, totally. Like how I would be if I just was at a party with Janet and whatever. Yeah, hi, nice to see you. You look great, whatever. But if I had to deal with her as a cast member, she would have me seeing red very, very quickly.
That's true. You're
and
so
I can
right.
see
I didn't
that
think
with
about
Lala
that.
because when Lala kept trying to say, she called me a whore, she wanted to punch me, whatever. Lala didn't get into it being like, she's so wrong, whatever.
Yeah.
She just goes, wow, your group has issues, guys.
Yeah.
And when Brittany brought up Jax and all of his nonsense, she did get into it with him. And she was just like, yeah, because a cocaine problem is expensive.
Yeah.
And you don't have it like that to spend it like that. And you, right?
I'm surprised they left that in, to be honest with you. That's gnarly.
It was great.
I thought it was.
But it was
it was
also
Lala's signature. Like,
Yeah. I thought it was very her, but
yeah.
But I'm just as I was watching this scene the second time around, I was like, right. She asks Michelle questions and volleys back to her.
Yeah.
Same with Brittany. She
Yeah,
doesn't
you're right.
fuck with Janet.
You're totally right. And I did get such joy just out of like when just the way Brittany said it. And I don't even know if Brittany even meant to say it this way because she ends up, you know, we can't ever really get her to really take on Janet. She's still like, until she's mean to me, then I'm going to be nice to her. Like that's her whole thing. But when she goes, and they do not like you.
I loved when she said that. I was like, finally,
funny.
Brittany. She
I'm
said it.
taking like my hits wherever I can get them with
Yeah.
that because like she never says anything to Janet. So
And listen, I know Brittany is a nice person. They've all, every single cast member,
yeah.
I think including Jax, has all said what a lovely, kind person she is.
Yeah.
So I believe that she is. I just think she is so daft when it comes to
Wait, who?
Brittany.
Oh.
When it comes to
Everything?
spotting
Yeah.
a person who is a bad egg
Yeah.
and understanding how to be like, I'm not going to fuck with you and I'm going to put boundaries up. Clearly,
Yeah.
Jax, Janet, I mean, she's done it a few times. It's her Achilles heel.
You know what else I think I recognize in Brittany is probably something that like I know that I'll do. Like if I don't want to talk about something like that, like a bad habit that I have, the last thing I'm going to do is bring up a bad habit that you have. Like why would I sort of like, I would just like us to all leave each other's bad habits alone and let them just go on with their bad selves, you know?
Yeah, it's like if I'm going to order the triple McCheeseburger or whatever, like then you do it too. And we just don't talk about
Yeah,
this is bad for
exactly.
us.
So I feel like she gets really like, I think that I sometimes am like as liberal as I am because I want people to do whatever they want so that when I do whatever I want, no one's going to get mad about it. You know, we're like, not like liberal, but like as,
Open.
just as open and like progressive and like oh yeah, do you whatever you want.
Not-
Does that feel good?
non-judgmental.
Great. Fucking scratch that itch, you know, whatever you want. Yeah. So yeah, it's like I'm putting out that karma of no judgment, right? No judgment, right?
Yeah, exactly. You do you.
Yeah.
Do you, bro? As
Yeah.
in the great words of Ronnie from the Jersey Shore, do you, bro? This next scene got me in a real kerfuffle because it's when we go to Jax's condo or what townhouse, whatever. Thank you. Thanks, Mark. And it's Jason and Luke, them showing up first. And this is why, Jason, I can't take anything you say seriously because you show up to Jack's house, who has a known substance abuse problem, with a 6-pack You want some heinies, guys?
Wasn't
this-
an 8-ball.
Okay, well, that we know of.
Jax doesn't have a drinking problem. He has anger management issues that leads to drinking, Courtney.
Mhm. Yeah, I know. That's
Just like Mark does.
And Schwartz shows up with Butters the dog and some
And a candle.
candles.
I got you a candle.
This
Even
is,
he was like,
by the way, this is why we had a banner week at Party of Schwartz. Because of Butters and the candle.
Yeah.
But point being is it's so annoying. And not only did you bring it, like maybe you thought, I wanted a beer and I don't know if Jax has beer in the house. LOL, Jax has much more than beer in that house, which is why Brittany's not letting her kid go over there. But then they all sit down and partake in having a beer, which by the way, I know people that are like, no, I was addicted to heroin. Like booze is not my problem. I could have a glass of wine. It's no big deal. I know that exists. What I'm saying is Jax has issues coming out his ears right now.
Yeah.
And do I think his relationship to alcohol is one of them? Absolutely. And so for you to have the cojones to sit there and not just show up with beer, but then sit down and have a beer with him and not just do both of those things, but then do both of those things while you're talking smack about a guy who you think has the worst. He's like, you're like pinning him to be the worst alcoholic this side of the Mississippi. And even if he does have this massive drinking problem, all he's shown us this season is that he's working on it.
Yeah.
But you're going to sit here and even entertain this conversation with Jax, which is so self-produced. His whole last-ditch effort to try and take Danny down from this scene to the end of the episode, which I know we'll get there, is just, it's so pathetic. And watching you in on it, Jason, makes you pathetic.
But we have to be grateful for this because what is so
Tell me more.
apparent.
yeah, seriously.
No, we have to be grateful because like I said, watching this whole scene and watching like everything that Jax was saying was total dog shit. It was so transparent. I'm spitting. It was so transparent that he was doing the thing where he's like must finish like agenda to take down the dude. He's been gone all year, so he's really had like oh God, how many episodes are left now that I've been gone this entire season? I guess 2, 3 at the time, whatever. Like this is the finale episode before. Like I think he's trying to make up for all that lost time.
Yeah.
So he's using every zinger back to back to back, even though like they don't make any sense. They don't hold any truth or relevance to anything. And then
Apropos of nothing.
No, nothing. And so not only is like all that so obvious, which is like just fun to like watch someone so dumb be so obvious, but like and think that no one is onto him, which is great. But then also like I will probably keep saying this throughout the whole episode. Also, just like you don't know that you're fired yet? You're fired.
None of
fired.
this worked.
Like, oh my God, it's so good watching him. He's sweating. He's like up on the edge of his seat and just like going, oh, where's Danny? Oh, I don't know. Who? Oh, who did? Oh, probably getting drunk somewhere. God, this guy, like he thinks he is nailing this whole thing. And then when Jason says what he says and totally is backing him up, yeah, totally, bro. Now we all know, if you were wondering, like if you were still like curious about Jason is not only defending the biggest like junk piece of trash on this show, like just while
On this network.
yeah, on this network, like while he's acting like this other guy is worse than him, who like we all know is just not. He's just never going to be anything like Jax because they are just made from different cloth. Like, doesn't matter. So now, Jason, no one will ever see you to have a brain or any realness in you ever again. Like the jig is up for you. Like you are now stupid. You're a little bitch and you're going along with the guy that you think is going to be here next season. They think, as you said, that he's their boss. So Jason is not only making...
Also happens at the network all the time. That dude gets fired.
Exactly. I'm safe. My best friend is this and that.
And you know that lady that you've been a real prick to for 2 years?
Yeah, exactly.
Guess who just got promoted?
Exactly. And that happens all the time on these on these networks and in these studios, like they're bobbing around. Like those people are lifers. It's like a state job. It's like working for the gov.
You know how we always reference the bully in the 80s movie?
Yeah.
That's who Jax is right now.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the bully in the 80s movie, and he doesn't realize, oh no, we're in act 3, bro. Like you're about to get your ass handed to you by
Yeah.
the nerd.
Yeah.
And he's dating the cheerleading,
Yeah.
like the captain of the cheerleading squad, and they're in love, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's him right now. He doesn't realize it. And to that end, Jason doesn't realize that no. We see all of it.
Yeah.
We see what everyone's saying, all the confessionals. So for him to sit there, I hope to God you are not a trial lawyer, Jason, because this made no sense. When he was in his confessional and he goes, I think why Jax is upset, like, thanks for being Jax, of all people's mouthpieces to be. It's the guy who has been cheating on his wife, who just got out of rehab for a cocaine addiction, who has just been a proven degenerate for over a decade. This is the horse that you're gonna fucking back?
Yeah.
But
Because that's how dumb you and Janet are. You're communicating at home. You know they are.
Yes.
But Luke, when you say like even Luke's chiming in, but he's not. He's because he's got a Kristen. He's got a seasoned vet telling him, here's how this is going to go. Jason's got that idiot Janet, Fannet, Karen, fucking Voldemort. Like, oh God, you got to go home to that. Ugh.
He's sitting in his confessional explaining to all of us simpletons at home, the reason that Jax is so upset is because everyone talks about Jax's issues with his addiction, but nobody talks about Danny's. And it's like, oh, are you new? Have you not been here all season where every fucking episode, doesn't matter if you guys are in Santee B or you are at Jax's in Studio City or at his new townhouse in North Hollywood, all you guys have talked about all season is Danny's drinking problem. That's you wouldn't have had a fucking storyline all season.
Oh my God. When they did that recap of the whole season and it was like all Danny's, and I was like, wow, that really is all we've been talking
So for Jason to come out in his confessional and say like, well, Jax is just upset that his stuff is talked about, but Danny's isn't. It's like, what? Did you hit your head? Did you fall on your way up the 4 flights of stairs at this townhouse, you moron? It's all that's been talked about. And I guess that he could come back and say like, no, because Nia and Danny don't want to talk about it. It's irrelevant. You guys have still talked about it. Your wife has brought up examples from events that weren't even on film saying that he gets drunk at fan events and makes these women uncomfortable. And she can't even cite sources. And every source that she does cite, including you say, I never saw it. So you guys are just talking in circles about a guy who, quite frankly, is not even 1/100th close to Jax in his actions. And that's why we talk about Jax. And that's why we have been talking about his issues and how he's just such a fucking dark, sick person for over a decade. They're not comparable on any level, Jason. And by you defending him, it's gross and it's wild. And you got to fucking take a real hard look. You and your wife need to really look at self-awareness, the logic behind what you think you're going after, because there is no logic there, and just realize like, why do I need to go for these people so hard?
Or don't, you know?
We're just get off the show.
Yeah, or just set yourselves on fire.
Well, not that.
No, do it. Whoa. I think that, like, because I'm just trying to think of like during season 1, like, yeah, Jax is an idiot and we all know it and whatever, but like Jax didn't have a bad first season, right? Like, did he? I mean, he had
this past season,
like
the Valley,
the first season, like he was pretty much doing whatever he was doing. Him and Brittany were arguing, but like at the time, I'm trying to think back, and I could be totally misremembering this, but it felt like yeah, we were definitely like annoyed because Jax is Jax and he's annoying and he's just getting like, he gets too comfortable and just starts saying things that you're like, bro, stop picking on her, you know? But like at the time when he'd be talking about Brittany's drinking, I didn't really know if Brittany was drinking a ton or not. She seemed to be. She was barfing in driveways and getting and having to go home early from places, and just she like they did kind of like set out a pattern of just like Brittany likes to party, which I didn't judge her for it at all. But I wasn't questioning Jax so hard by going, why do you have to get so drunk? Your stomach hurts. Why do you think like he had some logical points if you didn't know Jax before. And so you could basically what I'm saying is that I'm trying to think of like, it seems like Jason and Janet are completely listening to everything Jax is telling them. It seems like Jax is having sidebars with them and saying the thing about we're all going to go after Danny this season. Okay, I'm going to set this up, and then you're going to say like it seems like he's listening very much to them. And I was thinking like what was the first season like? I don't think that Jackson blew himself up yet. So they are still working off of we're working with this guy on one season, and before that he was on a 11 season show or whatever. So he probably knows what he's talking about. So they're listening to him is all I'm saying.
Listen, they're listening to him because they want to be close to the goose who laid the golden egg.
Right. But I'm saying that like I don't think that other people on the show would necessarily believe that Jax is the goose that laid the golden egg. Like I think that Jason and Janet are just such rookies that they don't know. But I guess the other ones are too. But Jesse does seem to be oddly good at this, you know. And he just some people have the thing.
No, totally agreed.
And then Danny and Nia are so on their own, like they're just on their own fucking path. Like they don't, that's one, like them or don't, like they're on a path and they're not really pulled by anyone.
I just need to say really quickly about the season 1 Jax stuff.
Yeah.
One, Janet and Jason had known Brittany and Jax for a few years before the show ever started.
Yeah.
If you're using your head, that's how they got on the show, right? Because they were closest to Jax and Brittany. You know, when you're close with a couple, you guys are sharing shit. So there's no way Brittany was like, you know, he's doing coke all night, or like he's been up on a bender, or, you know, I heard that he stripped someone at Jax's and I'm so brokenhearted about it. So Janet knows that Jax is the degenerate, and she tells Jason. And so they're in on it. That's number one. But hold on one second.
Okay.
Number 2, on the show, towards the end, when he kept going in on her for drinking, do you remember the episode where all of the girls were out on the boat at the baby moon?
Yeah.
And every girl was like, she didn't drink anything today, Jax. And you're yelling at her on national television and trying to fucking take your, first of all, I don't give a shit if she was drinking or she wasn't. You don't communicate that way with your wife.
Yeah.
Second of all, you're not believing her, and we're all telling you it's the truth. And third of all, she feels sick.
Yeah.
And you're doing that. And like they all knew Brittany was telling the truth. So I just think that like they knew regardless, and they just want to fucking sidle up to the guy that they think is going to help them be mainstays on the show.
Totally. I think that I said this wrong. What I mean to say, like as an audience person, like Jax didn't have a bad season 1. Like this season, he has shown his ass every which way until Sunday. So if I have no experience in TV and I got on this show because my neighbor brought me onto it, and all I know of him is that he has basically put this whole thing together, and before that, he was on a 10 or 11 season run show, I'm just thinking, this guy knows what he's doing. This guy has... he's got buddies with everyone at the network. He's buddies with everyone at whatever production company it is. He's on every time I'm with him, Alex Baskin's calling him, or like whoever the fuck, like any of the producers, whatever. Yeah. Like other people already talk to those producers. Like Kristen already has the same Rolodex. If Jax is telling you and you know absolutely nothing, this is how this works, guys. Just follow my lead and I'll get you to the big times, you know? They are that dumb to believe all of that because they're not seasoned and they're just, and like I said, Danny and Nia they don't bend that way.
Yeah.
And Jesse just happens to be good at this.
Yeah.
And then obviously Kristen and Brittany don't need to, they know that
Jesse is smart. And I just don't think Janet and Jason are that.
No. And they believe that Jax is the end all be all and is calling the shots because Jax has told him that. And they're too dumb to realize like nobody's calling the shots on Bravo on a show.
Correct. And with what you're saying, I feel like if you or I or Mark, if any of us were in this situation, we would realize, right, but he got fired from the last show and he wasn't talking to any of these people. And if you just went back and saw that his behavior, you realize like, right, a leopard doesn't change their spots.
Yeah.
You'd be realizing this guy's full of shit. He's a ticking
Yeah.
time bomb. His behavior has only gotten worse. His drug problem has only gotten worse, yada, yada. But so much of the time when you're that close to like getting this thing that you've always
Yes.
wanted, which Janet has always wanted, whether she says it or not, Janet, you're too, how about this? I'll just speak for myself. You are not fooling me. In the
No,
sense
you're not.
Of,
She's
like,
not fooling anyone.
yeah, I don't think she's
No.
fooling anyone, but I'll just speak for myself.
No.
Like, you're not fooling me that you didn't want to become friends with them for all the reasons that we've talked about. And it doesn't mean that you didn't also have a genuine friendship, but you wanted this. This was the golden ring for you. You would much rather have been a star on the Valley than be someone else's assistant or any other job, right?
And and that's fine.
But so because of that, I think she just heard what she wanted to hear with the Jax of it all. And I think that that's part of how
and
we
I
ended up
love
here.
that. I love it. I love when people are just too dumb.
Blind by their own needs.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get to, and then you put yourself on a screen for us to all watch. That's great.
Our next scene it's an interesting one. And it's only interesting if you guys watched the after show. Did you watch it?
Yes.
Okay. So we're now at Jesse's place with Michelle and Jesse.
Yeah.
And there definitely was a different energy between the two of them as soon as she got there, and they were able to joke around, and you could see that the temperature was taken down a little bit between the two of them. And when I'm watching this scene, I'm overjoyed because I'm seeing growth.
Yeah.
Which is all I want to see from my characters on reality TV show and scripted TV shows, right?
Yeah.
He said, like, the divorce wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
It was our fault. He's saying things that I'm like, oh my God, maybe your therapy or life coaching or whatever the hell it is you're doing, maybe it is working. Like, every word out of his mouth made me feel empathetic towards him and made me think that here's a person who has learned a lesson and is adjusting their sails to be a different kind of man, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, if this is who you could be in season 3, fuck, I might actually like you. Like, I might do a flip.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And then I watched the after show.
Oh,
And
okay.
Michelle is like, yeah, that would have been great if anything he said actually turned into action.
Yeah.
And so talk is cheap, and it
No,
doesn't
but
matter. If,
you can see through Jesse as soon as he starts crying. What like Jesse doesn't get yet, and maybe someone should tell him, or maybe don't tell him, I don't know. It's like, you were doing great, and then you started crying. And like, you just didn't, like, when you started crying, it was too much. It was unnecessary. It was so obviously fake that it was like, okay, now I don't really, anything you've said that hasn't really resonated. And
you know how you know that's his tell? It's because his tears are always about him.
Oh, yeah.
Not about the person. Like, God forbid, let's say something happened between us and it was my fault, okay? My tears would be because I hurt you.
Yeah.
Not because you're mad. Like, yes, of course, I would be so sad that you were mad at me, but I would just be more so sad that I hurt you.
Yeah.
His tears are that he's exhausted.
Yeah.
He's had enough of this. He doesn't want to deal with it. And it's just, that's how, you know, what do they say? Like, how do you know a lawyer's lying? Their mouth is moving. By the way, I don't believe that. I think there are good lawyers out there. But it's like, how do you know Jesse is lying? He's crying.
No, in this economy now, I think everybody is shadesters, because I think that there's just a lot of people that are having to go that extra mile to get things that they didn't need before. I think everybody be on the watch out for really everything, because I just think it's a weird
time.
It's a weird time to be alive.
That's why we're here talking about this stuff, to take our minds off all that.
Yeah.
What did you take from that scene, Mike? Like, what was your vibe when you were watching the two of them?
Same. Like I was bummed when I watched the after show because I bought it, and I was like, oh, I remember, I think it was Kristen on Watch What Happens Live, like when the season first started, or like right after he called her a whore or something. It was either Kristen or I think it was somebody that was like, just wait until the end of the season, because he has a turnaround that'll make you kind of flip 180 on him. And I was like, oh, this must be the thing she was talking about. But the after show ruined the whole thing. Like, that's also like, sometimes I don't like watching the after shows and getting on their Twitters and doing all these fucking Watch What Happens lives, because it's just like, and I've said it before, it's like, are we reviewing the stuff that they showed us on the Valley for 18 episodes, or are we reviewing deep diving these people's lives as a whole. You know what I mean? I always go back and forth with that. And I don't like these people enough to be involved with their lives as a whole. So like sometimes I don't want to watch the after show because I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I need a timeout for a minute and for fucking 6 days and 23 hours.
Yeah.
And so like I definitely don't give a shit about being on their Instagrams or like knowing like I
Same.
don't care about any of these people.
No,
I don't even
God.
care about Danny and Nina. I got fine. You guys are cool and like, but I don't care about you guys. And that's partly because of the after show. Like, Danny, if you knew, if you're telling me that this dude told you from the jump, season 2, that you had a target on your back, then I'm going back to what I said 4 or 5 weeks ago that like, I get it. And Nettie's going to be like, oh, yeah, you're right. But like, you're just there for the check too. And yes, you got 4 under fucking 12 or whatever fucking new
4
thing
under
in the
4.
whatever.
How
Like,
dare you?
I get all of it. I get it. But it's also like you're all there for the same reason. And
It's a job.
and so I like to be fooled. So I also tell the story. So Heidi and Spencer, Heidi Montag and Spencer Pratt, Spidey. I worked with them on Marriage Boot Camp, and I have a friend that worked with them on some other shit. These two, I've said it before, they're pros. They are the proest reality people you've ever met in your life. You have a scene, they show up, they're like, what do you guys need? You just tell them, and they get it. They get why we're shooting it. They get why we need that scene. They get what isn't happening in the edit. They get what happened before and last week and what's going to happen next week. They get how you're going to tie this up next Tuesday when we film at 8:30 with the college shit. Like, they just fucking get it. And they are literally like, okay, we rolling? We got, and we're like, oh, well, but you didn't. And they're like, just fucking hit the red button, buddy. We got it. Okay. And they, every fucking time, they're going to do it better than anyone. Like, they're just pros. These people on this show are not pros, but they are trying real hard. And it's like watching, I'll give them double A baseball. Like, you guys are getting paid. you get a spot on the bus, but like, you're better than almost everybody at baseball, but you're not, like, you still kind of suck. Like, you're not good. You're trying to show up for work. Jesse's fine, but we all know that he's full of shit. So now it's like, okay, well, we're not buying it anymore. The rest of you suck so fucking bad at this job that, like, at least in Summer House, I feel like they're all friends. Are they? I don't know. They feel like it.
No,
Southern Charm, they feel like friends. Even the other Southern Hospitality, they're buddies, they're work, but like all these people, Next Gen, like Southern Jersey Shore, Housewives, like all these people have a thing that roots them together.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers, the only thing that roots them together is Jax sold a show and picked you and you and you and you and you and you and you. And if you fucking act up, then I'll get rid of you and I'll pick some, like, so it's almost, it's a hostile work environment. It's like old school production, like when everybody was fucking freaked out about the EP because they were going to scream and yell and throw shit at you. And that's a real thing. I'm that old. Like, so I'm not buying it. And then I watched the after show and I'm like, no, I'm really not buying it, Danny. You just sat there and fucking took this whole thing, this whole season. You just took it day after day after day. Because you knew it was all fake. You knew that you and your wife got the banger edit last year and that the fucking boss man was pissed about it and maybe he's not, and that was the whole thing. So
Why
you
do we
just
think, though,
took
that
it.
Danny wouldn't say, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just so, I genuinely am asking, why wouldn't Danny say, you said you were going to set me up?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, like why,
that's why
no,
I'm asking. I'm saying
you're
this
asking
is
the
my
same
point.
question.
Is like,
Yeah.
that's why I'm out. Like, I'm not buying it, dude.
Yeah.
Like, you fucking knew it. And like, listen, this is why I'm not on a reality TV show. And this is why they're trying to get rid of people like me. I would have beaten the shit out of that dude or gotten my ass beat. Like, we're fighting. That shit isn't going past 2 sentences that Jax says to Danny. And I get it. Danny's a churchy and he's got all that. But like, bro, you could have railed this dude by just outing him and being like, didn't you tell me in the beginning of the season that you had an X on my back? Like, you planned this whole thing, right? You and your dumbass crone. Bro, if Danny does that, I am opening a church called the Church of Danny and Nia. I'm swapping out Lexi's boot camp for Danny and Nia's boot camp. Like, I'm in 100%.
You open it at Hood's
Hood is
Marble
evicted
Palace.
and Hood is probably already evicted. Danny, I got a spot for
Hood
you.
left.
Like,
She doesn't need this. She has 10 billion. Imagine what her TikTok's at now if it was at 5.4 a week ago.
I'm not buying it. And then I'm like, I don't even know if I believe Michelle. Like, cause I'm like, okay, is everything, so everything Jesse does is a fake ass, oh, it's in his book and he's hurt. And then also everything Michelle does is manipulative and everything Jax says is that, and Brittany, and it's it. You guys are all trash. You're all trash.
Sometimes I think that Jesse might settle in. Like, he might actually be like, you know how like you're so over worried about something, you're so thinking like how much fucking pages and pages of notes I would do when we first started doing this because I just like wanted to be prepared, and now I'm like, the whole world doesn't need to know every single thought that I've ever had. Like
your pre-tapes?
My pre-tapes. Yeah. Everyone seems to be like understanding what we're doing here, and the engagement is showing us that like, okay, no, we're just breathe, Natalie,
sense.
relax, like just show up and say what's on your
Say
heart,
dumb
you know?
stuff.
Say some dumb stuff. Yeah.
Don't try to
Mikey likes
smarten it all up throughout the day.
Yeah.
That's not what we're here for.
So I wonder if Jesse will get to the point where he's like, I don't need, I might just leave this binder in the car today. You know, maybe, who knows? And I also think that doing a reality show in Los Angeles is probably much different than like doing a reality show in Charleston. It's like these people are all they've all wanted to be in entertainment, whether they wanted to be actors or they wanted, or just like how Janet was like working for whoever she was, Cameron Diaz, I think maybe, or who was she working for? Someone like that. Zach was working for Nicole Scherzinger.
Yes, which I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like how about this? I know nothing about her except she is slaying on Broadway right now. So I just really love that the two of them.
Yeah.
Do you like One Direction?
One Direction.
1D.
Did you just say One Direction with like a question mark?
I don't know any of their songs.
You don't know Harry Styles?
Yeah, but I don't know anything about One Direction or any of their songs.
You know what?
I can subscribe to everybody. If you're looking for a podcasting job, we might have one available for you.
I never started listening until Harry became a Justin Timby.
Listen.
Wait, but didn't you come to X Factor when they would come on all the time and play soccer in the parking lot? Dude, they were the best.
I have no memory.
Were they discovered on X Factor?
On UK X Factor. And Nicole Scherzinger. So Simon used to have this little trick, and he's so good at it, where people would come on as solo acts to audition for the X Factors and the AGTs and all this, more so on X Factor. And they would be like, they'd be kind of good, but he would be like, you, and you get together, sing. And they would be like just magic. It would be magic. And he would do it all the time. And then so no, One Direction was one of those things. All those kids came to audition separately, and the story went for a long time that was one of Simon did it again. It was Nicole Scherzinger who did it.
She did it instead of Simon.
Yeah, I mean, there was the two, but he was
believe it.
Not forever. Like the story got out because he does it all the time. So it was just like, it happened on X Factor UK. I think it just kind of happened, and it might have been him that actually was like one day was like, actually it was, I don't remember who finally said it, but he never denied it. And it was like they would have these things, like we would go through all the audition, and I didn't work on UK, I worked on X Factor America.
Was she on X Factor America, Nicole Scherzinger?
No,
she was on something.
I don't think America.
So you never worked with her.
Brittany.
Did you work with Howard? Someone was asking in our comments.
I replied today. I didn't. I came right after he left. He was only in New York too. Also, Fifth Harmony.
Oh, you said that.
Yeah, that's a Simon put together
mastermind as well.
Yeah, they all came as solo artists, and he was like, "You guys get together, sing, great. You have 24 hours to come up with a name and come back." And they did it, and that was their name.
And then they
picked that name, Fifth Harmony. They came back, and murdered that show, and now they're all superstars. It's pretty cool. I think.
So now you were saying though that like everyone who comes here to LA is wanting to probably wanting to be in the industry in some capacity. So like,
So I just imagine it's a harder, it's a lot more cutthroat and a lot more like, just people are on their strategic game, and people are like, don't care if you live or die as long as they get back next season. And everybody probably has like a friend that they'd rather have come and join, because no one can trust anyone. So everybody wants their own allies and whatever. So I just imagine it's different for this group than it would be, the kids from Charleston. And
okay, so the next thing that we get into is Brittany and Kristen at Brittany's house.
Yeah.
And they're talking about her, fertility journey.
yeah,
And I kept thinking that this reminded me of Nia's plastic surgery stuff. Because when Kristen is talking about how, they got pregnant not that long ago, but because she hasn't like held on to a pregnancy for a year, and because of her age and all of that, they call her infertile and geriatric and all of this stuff. And it reminded me of when Nia's sitting on that bed, and they're just like, well, you're an extreme case. And it's just like, can we all just really be conscious of the words that are coming out of our mouth when we're talking about these medical things? Because Nia you're acting like she's like the hunchback of Notre Dame. Do you know what I mean? You're acting like Kristen is 85 trying to get pregnant. And I get it. I know a women's cycle of fertility just as much as any other woman is aware of it, okay? But there are women that are clearly successfully having pregnancies well into their 40s. And I think you really get into someone's head when you say words like infertility or geriatric or whatever. And I get that that's the medical term. But maybe if we're looking at the fucking terms for everything else currently, maybe we throw this into the mix and say like, it's a third, I don't know, maybe we put numbers on it or whatever. I just think when a woman who so desperately wants to have a baby starts hearing those terms, how does it not crush her? And I said it last week and I felt it again. Like, I just want to jump through the screen and be like, listen, keep doing what you're doing. Do not listen to those fucking terms. You are going to get pregnant. You're going to have a healthy pregnancy and a healthy baby, and you'll probably shoot out another one. It just, I don't know. I just get very sensitive about things like that, whether it's the fertility stuff or the Nia stuff, because it's like, she's not growing an elbow out of her forehead. She just breastfed 3 kids.
All true. But like, you also have to put yourself for half a second into the mind of a doctor, right? Man or a woman. Like, if you want empathy, go to see your therapist. Doctors literally have schooling to like breed the empathy out of them. A good doctor doesn't have empathy. A good doctor has facts and experience. They just have to tell you the facts. So like, years and years of doing that, like, plastic surgeons have to be doctors. Like, you have to be a doctor, and then you get to go to plastic surgery school and be a plastic surgeon. So doctors are a different breed, and they just like, there's not a lot of
No, I'm not blaming the doctors. I'm saying our terms should change. I don't think we need to say like, oh, when a woman's breastfed 3 children, that your breasts are in extreme, dire need of reconstruction because you're so dysmorphic in your chest area. Like, really, bro?
Like, there was a blur there, but like, I think they still look better than mine.
They look good to me.
They look fine.
I hit it. I'm just kidding. I'm not a lesbian, but you know what I mean. Like, I was honestly waiting for them to like roll out of her the way she was talking about her body, and I totally get it. Like, I can't imagine. The toll it takes on your body.
And going from A to Z, like being beauty queen, like literal
Correct.
beauty queen, and then being like, oh God, 4 kids later, this is how.
But when I did see it, I was like, you still look banging.
Yeah,
girl.
no, she totally did. One thing that so the only thing that I got from that scene was just how obnoxious it is to hear, like, when she was like, this not covered, this not covered, this. So it's like already just such a pathetic joke what kind of like insurance system we have. Like every year something that was covered is no longer covered. I'm not even at a certain point, it's just gonna be like a machine. You're just going in and you get like these 5 simple tests, and it really is whatever. But what you're saying makes me wonder, because I have a friend who,
you don't have no friends.
I know. She didn't really want to deal with like having to try and like knew that like already like they hadn't been trying, but just knowing that like they weren't not they weren't being safe for however long, kind of had the idea that things aren't going to be just a real slam dunk easy, you know? So they kind of like said that they had been trying for a year so that they could be termed infertile, so that their insurance would kick in for like the next level where they would get, because their insurance did cover what is
IUI.
IVF and IUI, like whatever it was, like it just
all the fertility treatments.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, it's shitty that I don't know what kind of insurance she has.
Yeah.
My friend had insurance, like corporate insurance. She worked for like a big like defense company. So they probably had like baller insurance.
Yeah.
So maybe some doctors go ahead and put that on there almost as like a let's help them, because it will kick them into, if their insurance offers this, then they will be able to get this next treatment. So that's all. It was just a random piece of information that I had that I just am like tying into what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my point is just that to me, infertile is like, you don't have ovaries.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Other than that, like it's you're saying I got a chance. If there's a chance, let someone live in the hope, because we know, I have friends that I went to college with that they were like that couple that got together in college and got married, you know, a few years after college and are still together, right? And they tried to have a baby naturally, I want to say for like 7 years.
Yeah.
And it wasn't happening. Okay. And the pressure of that on them was so insane that the second, and this is not the only story I've heard like this, the second that they got a surrogate and that surrogate got pregnant, she got pregnant. And now they have twins.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. No,
they're in the same grade.
My brother happened. Same thing with him. My brother, they finally, after several years, adopted. And like the month that they adopted, she got pregnant. Like I'm talking a decade of trying or something. And there's just what?
And that's brother.
Who?
Darren.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wait, so they adopted her?
They adopted her, and then Austin showed up like 3 months later.
That's funny.
Or not, or Austin became a thing 3 months later. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
so like
was
you see.
And I was like, I was thinking the same. It's like, I don't know who this is too, if there's a God or a divine creator or Allah or whoever made all this stuff, amoeba.
Whoever made this Peacock subscription.
Yeah, seriously. But like, I think you guys took the day off when somebody was trying to figure out that like the worst thing that you can do while you're trying to have a baby is be stressed out, and then not having the baby stresses you out. Like that just doesn't seem like a good idea. Like they didn't really think that one through too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like either don't make stress a really big problem for pregnancy, or just like make it feel okay, like it's gonna happen. Or
until we work that out, let's just switch the terms up a little bit, right?
Yeah,
like
that one was always got
going
me.
through
It's like,
something or whatever, whatever the fuck the term is. I'm not the term maker. I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, I'm totally.
The next scene, again, I want to say, I always like to highlight when my co-hosts are correct, and Nat called this early on in the season, and you are so fucking right. It's when Benji and Zach are at Norma's having dinner, and you said it. You were like, Benji makes Zach.
Oh,
no, I don't want to say a better person, because I've always really liked Zach, but like the edge is off. He's more comfortable in his skin. And yes, does he still go crazy and scream about shit?
Well,
yes,
as
because
long as he's not drunk, then everything you're saying is true.
But that's who he is. Like even when he was on Watch What Happens Live last night, he had the shirt on that said like "Whose show?" ? Like
I know.
he is spicy. He's a pot stirrer. You know,
I'm with you, and
you just see he's more relaxed.
He's more
in himself.
Relaxed. And to see Benji in the audience just means that he traveled to New York. Like nobody wants to fucking take whatever. I hate flying that. I hate flying for any more than 90 minutes. 90 minutes is my max.
Not me. You invite me, I'm coming.
No, I'm coming, but I'm complaining the whole time because I just get so uncomfortable. So I'm just saying, I came with him there, sitting in the audience. That's just like so super sweet. One thing I just want to like point out about Benji is that Benji is feeling real similar to Jason's great entry into this spot. Very pragmatic, scrotox on your butt. Why would you do that? I didn't ask for that. Okay, like sweet, but supportive. Oh, well, thank you, I guess, even though I didn't ask for that. When what's his name, when Zach is talking about Janet, and he's just listening, and then he says, it is just weird that she seems to manipulate situations that she really has nothing to do with. Really just gives like one-line sentences, like just very like sensical, and very like smart. And well, that juice doesn't seem worth the squeeze kind of thing. And like, so Benji, stay true.
This is who he is. I think it is.
This
Don't
is
you?
peak. What?
What did you say?
I was saying, I don't think we're going to see a massive shift in Benji. I don't think he's going to turn out to be a Jason.
I didn't think we'd see one in
are.
Jason.
I don't think he's going to be a Jason. I don't know if I don't know if he's going to turn to Jason, but he's definitely going to blossom next year and fucking show up for work.
No, bro,
That's
like
100%.
you're
But
gonna
not be a
see this.
Jason.
You're gonna
Maybe
see
not.
this.
Who knows?
You have a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
They didn't really like have
But,
one
we
like right
already
in front of
know
them.
He's going to show up for work because this scene. I'll preface with, these are my people. Anyone who goes online and orders before they get to the restaurant, those are my people.
I know. I've never once done that in my whole life.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. You got to go through the menu before you get there.
Oh, it's the only way to travel.
Yeah, it's the only way.
Yeah, no, you're either a person that thinks that way. It never even enters my mind to do this.
I got to know if the place is going to suck. I got to know if my evening's going to suck or not way ahead of time.
I also have to know if they have
You guys,
vegetarian fare.
Because I only go to
Boring.
dinner because it's the only thing that I do. Like I don't party anymore. I don't I can barely
Perfect
leave the
example.
house. I work so much that like I'm just like if people got onto a group chat and like found the mutually agreed upon time and booked the reservation, I'm going. I don't care if it's Arby's.
For those of you who don't
I'm
know,
going.
Nat used to be the group chat. She was a one-woman
Yeah,
group chat. You organized, everyone came
Yeah.
here.
What was it? Your group chat called?
Kitty Tuesday.
Titty Tuesdays. But also, perfect example, we went to dinner Sunday, didn't we? And what happened? I knew 4 days before. As soon as you sent me the calendar thing, I was like, cool, what's it? This is going to suck. There's like 7 things on the menu. It was like octopus and like lamb fucking butthole.
Oh
like,
my
just
God. First of all,
weird
it was
things.
a great fucking meal.
Listen, I'm
Where
not
were
gonna
you?
lie,
You're
it
so
was
dumb. We
good.
went to the
It
horses.
was pretty good. It
Oh
tasted
my
good.
God, I hear it's great.
It's great.
It tasted good.
It's a
There's
very
not a
small
lot of
menu.
stuff.
The Caesar to die.
Was really good.
And I got the pasta special, and
It's
it was
spicy.
to die. I've never had anything that unique. It was delicious meat sauce, like
Okay,
pork,
calm down.
crispy.
It wasn't-
like it was pasta and then put into the oven with cheese melted over it. But it was like
Like a baked
crunch, like little
ziti.
like crunchies and like where you weren't expecting. Like they would just show up in places, and it was spicy and it was delicious. It was overpriced, but we had a nice
Welcome
time.
to LA.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was I saying?
You were talking about Benji.
Why do you think Benji is going to blossom into?
Jason.
Because he
piece of
already did. Like this scene. What was this scene? This scene was, they should have had somebody else do this scene. Like we've all been asking for more. Like we want to know about Benji. What's up with Benji? Let's hear about Benji. I want to hear about Benji. Seems nice. Let's hear about his life. Cool. So request granted. Why? It's like when you move to LA to write movies or like TV shows, the first thing they tell you, not the first thing, but one of the things they'll tell you is like, don't have a best friend in your movie telling his best friend that he really likes X, Y, and Z. The best friend already fucking knows that. He knew that when they were 12 and they met. That's how they became best friends. Like, why is Benji telling Zach about his ex-husband and that he was still... Zach already knows this. Why isn't someone else being like, Benji, tell me... Do you know what I mean? It seemed fake. Because someone
Yeah,
else
but that's
didn't...
not Benji's fault.
No,
That's
that
the
was
producer's
listen.
fault.
That's
It's
just
not-
that's just the
It's
scene.
not,
Like you
no,
got
it's nobody's fault. But you're asking me if Benji's going to blossom into a reality TV star. Yes.
No, we're
he
asking.
did. This was his scene. This was the first time that he sat down and was like, what are we doing? Oh, Benji, this is where we open up and you tell us about your life and your ex-husband, your divorce and how it's happened. And okay, cool. And then we're going to talk about X, Y, and then we're going to do the scroll talk. Okay, great. Ready? Are you guys rolling? He did a fucking Spidey. He nailed it. I'm not shitting on him, but you're asking if he's going to turn into a Jason, not a mean, but like into a star.
all I'm saying is that he
Yes,
has the potential.
Did you ask a question? And I'm saying yes.
You know what?
We get into the last scene, which is really the meat and potatoes of the entire scene, which is the Zen party. And I would just like to say, Michelle, if you're watching this, you should have been purchasing your crystals from a little company by the name of the Urban and the Mystic. Sutton just purchased them for her girls' trip on Beverly Hills. Stay tuned, guys. You'll see my company there. Hopefully it got the edit.
Also, wherever you got your crystals, they don't work.
Stop it. It's the people, not the crystals.
I thought that her
Okay.
party was lovely.
Me too.
I
I
thought-
have that note.
What the
I
hell
thought
does
that
that
she-
mean? Isn't the crystals for the people?
No, it's like saying the seeds
Getting
didn't
my
work.
almonds.
It's the gardener that sucks. The seeds work. Can I have Nat's
Unless
glass?
they
I need to.
didn't.
Okay, you know what I'm saying. No, I had that same note, Nat, that I thought the note, like that she picked out a crystal for each person, the note that she wrote for each person. It felt personal. It felt
Dude.
from the heart. I loved that.
And just so well written and
Yeah.
lovely and concise and personalized. Like it was just for her to get her own party at the very end of the year, and it to be this specific one. I don't know. I don't know if that was just luck, que suerte, or if it was like she asked for that and chose to have it be like I don't know. Whatever it was.
I loved it.
perfect.
Yeah. And I do think that like she does seem like a thoughtful person. And the fact that she really realized what everyone was going through, even with Jessie, she wasn't like, here's a protection stone. And I really just got that for me to protect me against you. But I do, you know what I mean? She she was thoughtful and she let herself be, I thought, authentic with each person. And I 10 out of 10
Yeah.
for
And
me
she
for
looked
that.
beautiful.
Yeah. And what sucked is that the party was going in a really good direction. And then someone got the memo of like, oh, this is our last scene of the season. And
Everyone.
if you have something to say, speak now or forever hold
Exactly,
it
yeah.
to be asked back for season
Yeah.
2. And it started when Jax had pulled Brittany to have a conversation. I honestly, the entire time they were talking, I watched this scene twice. Each time I cared less because I'm just like, I don't, guys, just get away from each other. I don't care. I'm so happy that she has a new doormat. I'm so happy she didn't give you the fucking code to the Ring doorbell. You should not be together. Jax, you're baiting her to see that if she really does want you back. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't
funny
care.
was
Just
it?
let's keep moving on. Get off the show and let's see Brittany's new life.
Yeah, but how great is it where he's so stupid that for him to go, I only did that. I only was rage texting you for 2 weeks. And she goes, right, because I blocked you for the final 2 weeks. Like, and he's like, yeah. Like,
He doesn't give a shit when it's a
No.
point against what he's saying.
No, he
Hold on.
never thinks for 2 seconds.
You guys passing up
Almonds.
the best part. Jax doesn't believe in stars.
I don't think I think he was just
I'm going with it.
fine.
Jax, I don't believe in stars.
Or the moon or the
stars?
sun.
Like fucking stars, bro?
Doesn't believe in any
Okay.
of it. And he needs everyone there to be accountable. Jax is just trying to teach accountability. Like, why doesn't anyone want to learn accountability from Jax?
With-
This end party was like a scene from a 90s movie. Have you seen that movie, The Player? Robert
No.
Altman movie? Did you say no? Do you watch movies? Do you know what movies are?
Ask Joe Schmo. I quote them every episode.
Yeah, dumbass movies. Watch The Player. Watch some real
You
movies.
guys,
Joe Schmo's
we
even
fucked
going to
up.
be like,
We fucked up that we didn't go to see Romy and Michelle at Cinespia. It was just stupid.
You know, I never got into it.
I think it would have been so fun.
Totally. I actually really wanted to see Point Break there.
Yeah, they announced the rest of the summer.
Anything good?
I feel like, yeah, but I can't remember it. So how good could it be?
But you also can't remember anything. So
Exactly.
let's not blame Cinespia's lineup on your memory.
Harris, what are you doing in the next 4 weeks?
You were saying, Mark? This was like a
Um,
90s movie, The Player.
yeah, like when you go and you pitch a movie to the studio and you'd be like, oh, and then this, and then this, and then the movie ends with a Zen party where everything goes haywire and everyone's mad at each other. Like that, and the guys and the execs like, "Dude, I love it, book it. Like, yeah, we'll take it. But it's not, no, let's not take it. That sucks. That's not good. That's not a good ending. It's so cheesy.
But it was at Yamashiro.
That was,
I've never been,
that
have
was
you?
a
Yeah.
cool part.
We went for my birthday like a few years ago, which is Jen and Drew.
You're not going tomorrow. So tomorrow's Natalie's birthday, everybody. Everyone wish her a happy birthday on the internet.
I'm not going anywhere tomorrow.
Oh, wait,
I'll be
it'll be
cutting the Valley
Friday.
and Ashina Shea's book.
Happy birthday to you, boo.
Finally.
Wait,
It's
can we just
fucking
say-
14 years of me working every year on your birthday, and now finally you have to work on your birthday.
Wait, can we just say really quickly
I'm going golfing.
that the only part of Jax and Brittany's conversation that I found remotely interesting is in her confessional when she's just like, and now I just see him. He is greasy. Everything out of his little pores, the grease. Like, and it's like, finally, you've
Dude.
seen it. She got the ick, Nick.
You're a greasy, poured, narcissistic.
Over
Man
fucking
child.
injected.
Yeah. But like, honestly, when she was saying that stuff, okay, first of all, I have to say, I know that we all think that like any second she could get back with him. And I'm not saying that she never will, but I will say this. I have never talked about someone that I've been with that way and ever gotten back together
Ever.
with him. Because that's the true ick. Like, you don't look at someone's face and notice grease coming from their, like, I hate
wanna
all
barf.
those words. I'm eating this cheese right now. I'm not going to even repeat it. But like, just disgusting. Like, that's disgusting. That shit that you talk about with your friends of like a blind date you got set up on and you can't even fucking believe that you made it through the entire dinner because like you were just staring at like this massive thing on their face. Like, that's how she was talking about him.
Yeah.
So if anyone was looking for a little fuel to get them through, like maybe, just maybe she won't, like that was a very good indication that like we could not have to see them ever back together again.
I personally, if I had to put money on
Yeah.
will she, won't she, I do not think she will go back to him ever.
I had money on the opposite until this comment. So we'll see. We'll see.
After that, we see Luke, Kristen, and Jesse talk. And again, I'm sure, Mike, you probably feel the same way. Like, I was fooled again, hoodwinked by Jesse, thinking that like him talking about all of this was real and genuine. And how about this? I think in that moment for Jesse, because he's performing and he's got attention on him and he's able to emote because he's crying again. Again, that's how we know that it's all about him when the waterworks start.
What did he say though? I don't want to have growth. I want to be growth.
Oh, yeah.
Like, who told you that?
Scott,
You're a
the life
fucking
coach.
growth, all right. One that probably Kristen's insurance doesn't cover the
To
removal
burn
of.
off.
Yeah.
It's fine. We'll start a GoFundMe for you, Kristen.
Yeah.
But it was like, even in that moment, because he is fun, he has funny moments.
Yeah,
right?
totally.
So then when he was saying, because I don't want to be here at this Zen party, I'm not Zen. I was giggling. I was like, oh, that's cute. And your little blush colored suit is cute. And I was really by the end of this episode, I truly was having high hopes for Jesse. And I was seeing what Kristen was saying. And now I go back to, after I watched the, what the hell's it called? When they all get
After show.
after show. Thank you. I was watching the after show and then you get the scenes from the reunion. You're like, right. No, I'm sorry. I'm circling back to my aforementioned point that you are who you are, dude. And
Yeah.
I can't believe any of this shit. Even when he was saying like, oh, what a difference a year makes. I would never think I'd be talking to you and to Luke and Kristen about like watching my kid at some point or whatever. And I think Kristen was hoodwinked. And I think that Jesse, his growth has been minimal at best. If at all.
One thing that could be the case, and I know that we argue against this idea because when we're talking about Janet, just because she hasn't been mean to you yet, Brittany does it like that's just not exclusive to everyone but you. Jesse really is like, aside from getting on board with the Danny takedown, he kind of seems on board, right? Like, seems like he's kind of like, he seems bored with it lately. Like, he's kind of like, I don't even know how I don't remember how we got here. But remember, Jesse was on board during the first dinner with Jax back, like, was definitely very much on board with it. If he's not so obsessed with like fighting with Michelle, I don't know how, like, and maybe because he'll have to incite some drama somewhere, maybe he'll find another target. But if Michelle was out of the picture, I think Jesse would be lovely to watch. Like, he would be funny and like you could just take it all in that way. But because he's doing it to this woman who is, his daughter's mom, and because she is going through such a horrendous time currently on the show with her mom passing, and and obviously so angry at her and calling her all those names and all the things. I wonder how Jesse, if I would really not like him, because I liked him at the beginning of the year. Like even though he was
this season.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, I just liked him more than her. I just thought that she was fishy to me. She just seemed like she was a part of this whole thing and whatever. And then we do find out later that they did come together and like say like, we're just gonna do this. It's good for whatever. But Jesse took it too far. Jesse decided he was gonna bring up all the things that they, I think, had agreed to not speak about, and he did it anyways. So all
like
I'm
the
saying,
affair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is that if he is like, if like his girlfriend comes on next season, I don't know if we're gonna see the gross part of him like we have been this season.
100% we will, because wherever you go, there you are.
No,
So
listen.
whether he's gross, he's not just this way to Michelle. Trust.
No, that's exactly how I started this conversation, saying that like we know that like behavior is not exclusive to one person. All I'm saying is that if she's not around, he might find someone else to do that to, or we might just actually have, maybe we get a year off because he's not he's in the honeymoon phase right now.
I don't know if he's capable of it, truly.
I
think
know.
like he might find another target, and because I just, it's like thinking that I'm going to sit at a dinner table and just be quiet. It's like maybe, LOL, maybe there's one dinner party where like I'm just recovering from food poisoning and I'm going to sit there and be mute all dinner. But chances are you're going to get me there and I'm going to monopolize the conversation because that's who I am.
But she is like divorce and someone who's moved on so fast. Divorce is like one of the phases in someone's life that is their worst moments. Like it just happens to be, I don't know if there's 5 of them, if there's a top 5 of the worst eras of your life, divorce is absolutely one of them. So like all I'm saying is that if we're looking for characters to just like not be like showing up here every week and being like, oh my God, like we might get some time off from him, being.
But
like,
see, I think he's like a
maybe
Tamara
not.
Barney.
Yeah, totally.
So it's like, it doesn't matter if
Yeah.
Tamara's divorcing, or not Tamara Barney, what's her name? Judge now, like her ex-husband, or she's fighting with Vicky or whatever. I just think that he infuses this gross kind of venom.
Yeah.
Personally, that's what I think. We do then roll into when Jax pulls Danny aside to, apropos of nothing, go for him. And he starts it off in to me, the most ridiculous stage trying to needle someone way. And whether this is editing or not, he still said
No,
it.
I feel like it was like a solid scene. Like it wasn't like cutting back and forth really. It was like a 2-shot of just them being like, what's up? What's up? I mean, what's up? I mean, like what? I mean, like what's going on with you? Like, what do you mean? Like it was
And the first thing out of his mouth after the what's ups is, I'm not saying that you're a bad father.
Like who
'Cause
did?
Right. No one was even talking about parenthood at all. He's just saying that because Jax knows typically what buttons to hit with someone. So it's like, oh, let's go for the parent stuff.
Mhm.
Let's go for the kid stuff, because that usually just puts someone into fucking overdrive right away. And good on Danny that he didn't take the bait, because he's like,
got the fucking foundation. He's gotten the tools. He's practiced the tools. He goes to therapy consistently and like has just like the toolbox of the things. And like you don't get those things. Like he is such a good example of like what doing constant work on yourself and your marriage can provide. You're still not going to be perfect. You're still going to have all the thing, like a thing here and a thing there that like anybody is susceptible to. But like, that's what that does. If anybody wants to know how to handle a conversation, like it's from communication skills. And you get that by people asking you questions in a fucking setting where it's just about, let's build on this. Let's build on this.
Let's be self-reflective.
Yeah.
Why do you feel that way? Why do you want to always go for the jugular, Jax? So he says, you're not a bad dad. Okay, I'm not saying you're a bad dad. I know you're a good dad. Oh, thanks, because you're from the father of the year,
Yeah.
Jax Taylor. I'm so
Yeah.
happy that you condone and approve how I parent my children.
Yeah.
He's like, but you are a bad drunk. And it's, what is my parent, like, none of this makes sense, which makes you just want to bash his head into a wall.
Or laugh because he's
Yeah,
fired.
yes.
Or laugh because which half of the show are you guys like, I'm not getting fooled anymore? And then which part are you like, oh, Jax, you son, like,
Why don't you tell us what parts are fake of this whole show before we even start? Because
No,
I
I'm
can't
just
tell if like
saying,
we're
like-
having conversations about like what we saw on the screen or if we're just assuming that everything is fake. Because like everything's fake. I will say for the record, everything is fake. Everything has been thought of. If they catch you slipping, good on them, you know, and like you might get a real moment. But like everything obviously is like people are going into this knowing that there are cameras around and that they're going to talk about certain situations and like whether they fulfill what their plan to go in, that's the kicker. Like whether they will, like how many times do any of us go into like what we know is going to be like a hostile environment, what we know is going to be like they're going to confront me about this or we need to talk about this and we know what we're going to say. And then like 2 seconds in, I'm already, and it's always me being like fucking saying a million things of like, none of this was in the plan, you know?
None of this was in the pre-tape.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So,
but to me, then that's not all fake. It's
No.
artificial circumstances with real reactions.
Yeah.
A lot of the time,
Right,
not
but-
always, but a lot of the time.
right. So that's what I'm saying, Mike. Like, what are you saying is fake in this? Like between Danny and Jax? I mean, obviously we know that Jax is totally putting on a performance, but like I feel like it's a real performance because he's trying to get everyone to think Danny's horrible and he's calling him out on something.
And I'm the hero. I'm the number one guy in the group.
Okay.
What do you think?
No,
is
we're
fake?
asking you.
I mean, we just had a conversation about Jax coming up with this whole storyline and telling everyone in the beginning of the season that Danny and Nia got a great edit. He said it in the after show. It's not the first time he said it. It's not like so of all the scenes in the episode, this one was like, we can go back and like all the one were like, this one was definitely fake. Like we're always like, oh, you're like I said, you're not going to fool me. I'm not. You're not. You think you're too smart and you're going to pull the wool over our eyes. But then we go in on a scene that is clearly somebody who's vocalized. He's trying to pull the wool over our eyes of a person who is also knows that he's trying to pull the wool. Like this isn't a secret. So are we really talking about this scene of like it's real but then also gonna not let anyone fool us?
To me, this one is like reading between the lines in the sense of it's Jax trying to self-produce a storyline because he was gone all season. So now he feels like he really needs to kick into overdrive to earn his paycheck to make sure he's back next season. Didn't work. And I think that Danny, to his detriment, right, doesn't know how to just pony up and say, bro, you told me this is your plan. So you're not baiting me into an argument with you about the fact that you think I have an issue with drinking. I know that this was your plan from before all of these cameras went up. He just isn't a confrontational. I think he can hold his own in the sense of like, he's not completely letting someone railroad him, but he doesn't know to just say like, bravo, bravo, bravo. I'm going to break the fourth wall and I'm just going to say, this was your plan from jump.
I don't think that he doesn't know how to break the fourth wall. I think that Danny is a professional actor who is not going to break the fourth wall. And he doesn't realize that like at this point, he needs to be doing everything for like self-preservation because like all fucking rules are out the window here. Like the show's going to let happen whatever happens.
But then when Nia says like in a few minutes when she's like, and you just said that on camera or whatever, he's like, I know there's cameras everywhere. There's a camera here. There's a camera there. Like,
yeah.
He is aware of it on some level. I just don't think I just don't think he can go full throttle with being able to execute the plan of, oh, this is what you talked about before the season started when you were getting your own roadmap out for what Jax Taylor's arc was going to be on season 2 of The Valley. Like to really just to mention, in the great words of Bethany Frankel, to mention it all.
So don't you think that Danny might have the kind of ego where he doesn't think he needs to break a fourth wall in that kind of scene where he thinks like, no, I'm going to go in and I'm going to say this. I'm going to actually do a real job and do a better job than all these assholes here and actually bring what the scene needs and get my point across and land what I need to say. And they're not going to get what Jax is here for. They're going to get what I think that he is, and I don't want to say like thinks he can because that's like dumbing it down. I think that he is striving to beat the scene, like to be like the.
I can get with that
because I think that he's got the help of Jesus, you know. So he's going to go in here and he is going to be respectful and not name call, but like say what he needs to say and say you didn't invite me to this. Which is like normally like oh, you didn't get invited, but like. It's a vulnerable thing to say. You didn't invite me to this. It seems like it was purposeful. Like it just, I think that Danny is still just trying to do a fucking kick-ass job at his job, you know, and also make his church proud, make his wife proud.
Yeah.
And then I think what I did think was funny when those two, when she was like, there's a camera right there. And he was like, I know there's a camera. Babe, I'm barely hanging by a thread here. I'm doing the best I can. I'm exhausted. I've been doing this all day while you were over here, whatever. Like, I feel like they both, like, people are gonna call that out and be like, see, that's so fake. Oh, the cameras are here. Don't say anything. I think that you can go into any televised situation and decide, like, I'm not getting in the dirt with you.
Yeah.
I'm not, like, maybe Nia is like, there are certain things that you're not going to argue with trash Taylor about, you know? So it's like,
I'm sure too that just like Jason and Janet and have their, you know, conversations that we presume that they produce themselves and they talk with Jackson, whatever. Like Danny and Nia probably did the same thing. Like they know more than most of these, not Jackson, Kristen, but like they know more about the business and what it can do to a relationship than anybody else. Yeah. And they have standards. They live a Christian lifestyle. So like, 100% when they sat down and the contracts came for them to sign, like they had or did have a conversation of like, let's agree not to use the F word at each other. And what happened early season 2? Danny used the F word. That's why she was like, that was on camera. That was rule number 7, you know?
Yes.
It's fine to have those rules. It's fine to sit with
your
partner. It's healthy. It's fine to sit with your partner and be on around and be like, you know what we should do? Let's learn from all these other fucking idiots and try to like, we belong to a church. We say that we believe in God. Like, let's present in a way that we find attractive and that won't, you know, whatever. And that's all fine. Whether you think it's fake or not, that's fine too. But like, it's not fake. They're really religious. They really present this way. They really want to live a life this way.
Yeah.
And so it's not shocking that they got together and had these conversations and was like, we're not going to do this to each other. We're not going to do this to each other. We're not going to say this about our kids. We're not going to say this about our friends. Yeah. These are the 10 things that are a no-go. And if we agree to that, we'll do the show. And it seems like Danny's...
I would love to be that.
Maybe like, broken 2 of them, though.
Maybe what, Mike?
Maybe broken 2 of those things.
I don't understand.
The F word, like when she was that. And then whatever happened here where he said, and she was like, that was on camera. This is on camera. So like.
Let's even take this a step further from what you're saying. Just if we're looking, because I really do believe, and maybe this is like the Pollyanna or not like just like the person that believes shit when you tell it to me, right? That we are capturing real moments on reality TV. We are getting a genuine reaction, even if you know, right? That like, oh, I'm walking into this. Well, everybody has like, and you think, oh, I've got a plan, whatever. It's that Mike Tyson quote. Yeah, everyone has a plan until they're punched in the face.
Yeah.
So like, you might think you're walking into this Zen party and this is how it's going to go. And then you get punched in the face and then shit gets different. Yeah. Right. And that's why I find watching this stuff very interesting and real and whatever. And if we're going to take it a step further from what Mike's saying, there are always rules or boundaries that you put on yourself or relationships. You're not going to go into work being like, oh my God, I'm so hungover. You're going to want to just make it through the day, not tell everyone that you got shit canned the night before. Yeah. If you're working in like a very professional setting, maybe like you work in the White House or some shit like that. But my point is, I remember when my parents got married and they were going to have kids, and they said, we are always going to be a united front.
Yeah.
So there's not going to be a kid that's going to be able to like come up to me and ask a question, and then I say no, and then come up to you. And if you know that I said no, you're saying no also. They're not going to see us fight in front of them. It doesn't mean that they didn't have arguments. They just didn't fight in front of us. So that doesn't mean that my parents were living a lie in front of us. They just were going to be a united front. And you know what? It fucking worked. I knew I could never work my mom for something that my dad was going to do or wasn't going to do, or vice versa. I also learned communication skills because that they were showing us you don't just fucking rail into someone when you don't agree with them. And I think that Danny and Nia have certain tenets that are so important to them that they're working on it privately. And that's also what they want to portray on the show, because they are working on it privately and they are living their life like that off of the show.
Yeah.
And I just think we all do that. So to say that they're fake or this isn't who they really are, I just think is not recognizing that, no, we do this all the time. When you see someone randomly that is just like a work acquaintance and you've run into them at like Trader Joe's and they say, hi, how are you? I'm not like, wow, this year's really kicked the shit out of me. This is what's going on with work. This is what's going on with my heart. I have mold poisoning. I have what, like, you don't say all of that shit because it's, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
And so I just feel like them getting
they take it to another level because they have made more of a commitment to each other about more things than just like most couples that you
They're
rub
more
shoulders
thoughtful
with
about
do.
it.
Like imagine if like you are like if you are really involved with your church and you're like telling your pastor like, oh, we're gonna be on the show, and then like you've got like your pastor's also it's like your counsel, like you're going back and forth, and it's like, well, you guys got a game plan going in. We sure do. We're always gonna have the united front. We're never gonna use foul language. We're not gonna like. It's just like these are things that like I say every day. If I woke up and just took an hour to plan my day, I can't imagine how different it would go. But like I'm always playing catch up from something. So I'm just rolling out and like getting the fucking iced coffee stirred up and like going straight into like whatever I didn't finish yesterday, not thinking about the other things that need to be done. All I'm trying to do is get the cut out at the time that I tell everyone it's going to be there on the day that it's always there. And like if that happens, fucking hallelujah. And like, I don't think further than that, but like some people do, and they're more successful for it.
And not for nothing, if Brittany and Jax had taken the steps that maybe Nia and Danny are taking with their relationship, I'm not saying that they would be, or Jesse and Michelle or whatever, I'm not saying that they would be together till the day they died, but maybe they wouldn't have gotten married in the first place. Maybe they would have had a more acrimonious divorce.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I'm just into what, even if it's just what they're portraying, I'm into it because they seem to have great communication. Yeah. He doesn't tear her down the way that Jax teared Brittany down.
No, her body is his wonderland.
And by the way, I believe that's true.
Yeah. Oh my God, I totally do.
The end of the episode, really, it gets into a big quagmire of everyone arguing about their own separate things. But really the two main things are, Danny, Jax, Kristen jumps in, Nia jumps in because Jax then starts going after them as a couple and what they're portraying, which obviously is what we were just talking about. And then Zach pulls Brittany and he starts, getting super, emotional about the fact that she's never there for him. And listen, was his delivery piss poor? And would he agree with that if he was sitting on this couch? 100. Okay. But I have said this all season. I feel like you've also agreed with me. I'm not sure where Mike stands on this. She has been disproportionately involved with Janet's stuff and sticking up for Janet rather than being there for Zach. And Zach's the horse you bet on, not Janet.
I think somebody says maybe in the after show that they think that Zach just like wants to be liked, like wish that Janet would stop giving him a hard time. Like almost like they wouldn't be feuding as hard if Janet just like treated him.
No, they're between the lines say that what they were saying was they feel like he just wants to be friends with Janet again. He wants it all to go away. He wants her to forgive him genuinely, and it was Kristen and Nia. but they feel like he just wants to be friends with Janet again.
When
He
you say
wants it.
they, the fans?
Huh?
When you say they, who is they? They just.
Kristen.
Kristen and Nia were just kind of saying that, like if you read kind of between the lines, like they weren't outright saying like he just wants Janet to like him. It seemed
And she said I think he just wants her to get past it and forgive him. And Nia was like, yes, genuinely forgive him. And Kristen went on to say some other things, but she was basically saying that she feels that his problem with Janet is that he wants to go back to the way they were.
because there was a flashback, and there are times that Janet has tried to like mend things. I'm sorry, there's times that Zach has tried to mend things with Janet, and it just like didn't
falls flat.
It just
She
kind of
won't
falls
receive
flat.
it.
Yeah, like to me, it just that scene just I had never thought about that with Zach before, but that scene made me think about it in retrospect, and it does seem like Zach has tried a couple times to just like, can we just like move on from this and whatever. I don't think he wants to be best friends with Janet, and especially at this point now, maybe that doesn't even ring true.
That's
anymore.
what I think.
But like for I think a long time, you know, we always just talk about Janet just being like, I need her, I don't need her. I need like here's value. They offer nothing.
Yeah.
I don't think that she has seen value in Zach this whole time. But I wouldn't be shocked at all if she does now, because Zach is the number one guy in the group. He truly is. Like everybody is saying it, you know. Like he's not like he's not a Kristen or a Jax, but like big. But he could be. He could get like he's on. I don't know if he could be, but he's on the road to
He's on a good path.
He's on a good path, and people are loving him and wanting him to be in everything. But it's also because the show is so bad that like he just is funny and lightens things up, or tells someone what the fuck, and just like how we always talk about Tom Schwartz. We're not saying that Tom Schwartz is the savior of all of humanity, but he could be the savior of this dark like pile of shit of a show. Yeah. What?
No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I got something to say, but what?
Oh yeah. What? No. Yeah. Because you were.
I mean, I think I like Zach. I'm a big Zach fan.
Yeah.
I think anybody who tells their friend that someone's going to literally cut off your fucking skin and wear it is A-okay in my book.
Yeah.
Anybody who looks at the menu, A-okay in my book. But is season 3 going to be about his drinking issues? Because this motherfucker is a fucking horrible drunk.
Okay, but
like,
I don't think that. Listen,
100%. You got fucking big, huge problems, bro. You basically screamed at your boyfriend and borderline shoved him off of you. You said you were gonna punch a fucking dude. Like
that was hilarious when he told Brock, "I will punch you," and Brock's like, "I'm with you, dude," and he's like, "Okay."
But it was like it's gnarly, and it's happened a few times. Like where he gets drunk and then he's like, "I was blackout. I was blackout. Why would you sue me?" Yeah, bro, you're gonna get sued. Like, that's not okay. Like, you can't just get that fucking psychotic and go off on everybody, threaten to punch somebody. Like, Chris, isn't that what Janet is screaming about? Oh, she was gonna beat me up and call me like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? How come nobody all season said anything about this dude getting blackout fucking mean, like fucking mean when he gets drunk?
I don't
This
care.
is also why I don't necessarily believe in all the Danny stuff as much, because if you're watching with, and I love Zach, but obviously his behavior when he gets like that is less than savory.
It's out of control.
It's fine.
But anyway.
Listen,
no, I'm not saying you're wrong. Like
no,
I'm saying
we all don't believe. Like, are you at least with us now that like Danny has nowhere near the problem that like the entire show has portrayed him to have, or you really think he does? You still think he is massively dark Danny who has he's pounding drinks in the closet. Go on.
I mean, I don't recall ever saying that I thought that was 100% thing. But like, I don't think it's as bad as like, I think Jax is being the National Enquirer. He took a little thing that's like, it was a thing. It's probably been a thing a couple times and he's making it a fucking thing, right?
Yeah.
It was a thing a couple times. He apologized about the one real gnarly thing, right? We're good. He apologized. Has Jax had to call Nia a couple times, or has Jax's buddy like been like, bro, you got to get this too? I don't know.
Has Jax had to call Nia, or did Jax want to call Nia?
I'm just saying, has Danny, like, let me rephrase it. Has Danny been, do I think Danny's been so drunk at the bar that they've kind of had to be like, okay, bro, it's time to go home? I don't know. I can't sit here and say no, definitely not. Why has he stopped drinking for 3 weeks? How come he doesn't ever really defend himself?
Because he heard our show when we said, these aren't your friends, stop drinking with them.
Yeah, probably.
Thanks for the watch.
How come he knows
Like and
this
subscribe,
thing
tell a
but doesn't
friend.
defend himself? Like, how come when, like, he just, there's never a, like, Jax, this isn't true. It's always a, like, well, there was only one time. It was that, well, but.
Okay, wait,
cool.
hold on.
So, like, I'm fine. Like, I don't care. I don't care if you have a fucking drinking problem. And you guys, that's number 12 on the list. We're not going to talk about your drinking. Fine. I don't give a shit. Tell me whatever the fuck you want to tell me about your life. I'll take it or I'll leave it. So I don't care if you have a drinking problem. But like, it's a little strange. It's a little bit strange. I don't think it's anywhere near what Jax is making it out to be. I think Jax, if these people really cared about sobriety and drinking problems and addiction issues, they would probably be having a conversation with Zach, because he gets a little out of hand. So I don't know. I don't know if this is Jax's thing because he went on Brittany last year, and this year it's Danny, and next year, if he was there, it would be Luke. Like, I don't know if that's his projection. I don't know.
He definitely, how about this? It could be a little bit of everything, because I do think we're all on the same page with Danny. He clearly has some behavior he needs to look at with his drinking and his relationship with alcohol. And we've all said that all season, right?
It would appear he's looked at it, because have we seen him all season get blackout and like
no, and he said, like,
yes,
I haven't drank for a
dinner.
while, so clearly he is looking at it. So well done, you keep doing that deep dive, right?
Didn't he say the F word thing? Wasn't that this year when they dressed up as like they had the party where they dressed up as their partners?
No,
like,
that was
that was season 1.
Hmm.
He did get a little wasted at the bar at some point this year when he told.
This year was Dark Danny when they got in the big fight, and then Nia had to call whoever, and then Santa Barbara.
Nia had to call someone.
Oh, what, like a call for the Uber? She used his phone to call for an Uber, and
My point is, he as the season has progressed, he hasn't hit the bottle more and more. He said in this episode, like, yeah, I haven't drank actually in a few weeks, and like he was drinking water at that party. So he's looking at it as much as we know that he's looking at it because of what we've just seen. I don't know if this is just for the camera or whatever, but I also think what you just said is completely correct with Jax, where it's like, no, he also likes to just say, oh, well, you got a problem. And you got a problem. And oh, my soon-to-be ex-wife, yeah, she has a problem also. And it's like, no, just because Brittany did coke with you a handful of times doesn't mean that she has a problem with coke.
Yeah.
Just because Brittany might be drinking too much right now doesn't mean that she has a problem with alcohol.
Brittany has a problem with teardrop shirts and
Brittany has a problem with hiring stylists.
Yeah, Brittany has a
stylist problem.
That is
an issue. There was something I just wanted to bring up when it was with the Kristen and Janet and all of them leaving and yelling at each other. And Jason on his way out is just like yelling something at Zach about how he's such a, like, you're an awful human being, or he was saying something really nasty. I can't remember what it was. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, 'cause you're drunk. That's why your eyes are so close together. Benji, you're a nice guy probably, but your boyfriend's eyes they're close together. I'm like,
He said the exact opposite of that.
what?
That his eyes were going in all
Or
kinds of
going in
directions.
all, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like he was mentioning something about his eyes, which is just the most ridiculous insult. Jason, you're terrible at insulting people. Just stop. And then he stops to say, like, but I'm sure you're nice, Benji, but your boyfriend's eyes are going all in different directions, and I'm leaving. And Janet's like, you stop. Like, I'm not doing this with you. I'm not doing this with you. And it's just like, none of us as viewers want to do this with you guys. Just leave. Please get off our TV screens.
The way that Jason acted that entire party was just, it was really how we began this conversation about how someone goes into something thinking that they he was calm, cool, and collected for like so much of the first season and even the start of season 2. And then it's just like, he just was like, at some point, I'm getting the hang of this. You know what? I could say that. What do you always say? That got a few claps and hollers. I'm going to say that again. Like he really.
You get yourself a few hoots and hollers and you start saying whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's grandma's house.
Yeah. And so by the end, when Kristen and Janet are talking or trying to talk, and she's bringing up, oh, you called me a whore and said you were going to punch me out or beat me up or whatever. I don't remember her ever calling her a whore.
I didn't remember that. I didn't remember a lot of what she was saying, but
I remember the punch, but I just don't remember the whore part. But like,
whatever.
Kristen didn't fight it, so I'm not going to fight it.
Yeah.
But the way that Jason kept inserting himself into that and was like, and what's her name? Jasmine was yelling, Jason, back up. Let the ladies talk. Let the women talk. Let Jason. And he's like, relax, Jasmine. And Jasmine's like, Jason, back up. And so finally he kind of does, but like not really. He really wants to go in on Kristen, really wants to be there for this whole thing. And what they were doing totally fine. Then, however, minutes later, when they're about to leave and Zach is pretty wasted and he's yelling things. Oh, bye. He's doing the same thing that Janet did at El Coyote when she was like, bye, don't forget your take-home box or whatever. Zach's doing that same shit, which I was dying laughing because Zach's face, his expressions are so funny to me.
Yeah.
And him doing the, whatever. And then he starts calling her, you like stupid bitch. Like he calls her that. Jason clearly hears it because they are turned around. They turn around to come back and talk to them about it. And the fact that Jason didn't knock Zach the fuck out. You are such a fucking pussy. Like, what a pussy ass bitch for not, like, you're going to go yell at Kristen and get all involved, but then, like, a dude calls out your wife and calls her a bitch across a restaurant, like a beautiful restaurant overlooking the city. Like with everybody in their Sunday best, and like he's that wasted and yells that, and you're not coming up and at least getting in his face and saying, back the fuck up now. Never talk to my wife like that. No, he only wanted to fight with another woman. He didn't want to fight with Zach, who's got like a foot on him. Maybe not a foot, but he's got a few inches on him.
Yeah.
And I just think, I just love that Jason continues to show exactly who he is. Yeah. And it's just not a man. He's not a man that I want to fucking know.
Because the representative only stays in the building so long.
Yeah.
Commentos?
What an embarrassment. What an embarrassment. Janet, I would be pissed if I were you. I would be fucking pissed. As we're winding down, time is running out for you to show Schwartz that you care. Who wants to know that they had a support system after they get the job? Like you'd want to know who your real friends were.
Don't be a Monday morning quarterback.
Yeah, exactly. So I just want to tell you that we had record-breaking numbers, as I mentioned earlier, and the people that have joined the party, like we're spitballing like what we're gonna do about Party of Schwartz.
This
like
really was the week of the most signups. In all seriousness,
it was. Another thing that was interesting about all the new members is that there's many on here that like I've just never heard. I've never heard from before. Like we have like regular commenters that like we go back and forth with every week. There's many on here that I never seen. To think that they stepped outside and made themselves known,
crossing party lines
for Schwartz. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Haley and Dave, Just Jade, Carlite. Are you fucking kidding me? Like some people have taken their sweet time to decide this.
A thoughtful voter.
Because we've got one on the fence that like we're working on. It's almost like if you're a salesperson, you like keep them on your leads list and you're like, she seems really close. So you got to turn in your notes to your boss every Friday and tell them where you're at. You know,
she's gonna flip. I know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get her.
I can feel
she's
it.
Gonna place
you
her
know,
order.
but we can't put too much pressure. We gotta let her come to it. That one only gets better.
I saw that
This close.
Yeah.
So we've got Kimberly Schindler, Marianne Shepard, Marty Hans, McFix. Are you fucking kidding me? Like there are some people that I'm just like, I know I'm on the
Honored to
right
have
path.
you.
Yeah, I know I'm on the right path. Like if you're in, like I know we're doing something. Like the Lord's work is taking place here.
It's like the opposite of, I think it was Mark Twain. Maybe it wasn't. But it's a quote, I would have been a Christian if it weren't for the Christians I knew.
Oh, yeah.
It's like the opposite of that.
Yeah. We have Morticia, Nicole Quinlan, Rones, and y'all got to watch this. And I bet you, because I didn't go through the replies, and sometimes somebody will be like, you'll be going back and forth with someone, and then they'll go, okay, fine, put me down. Or I'll say, so then it seems like your comment you kind of seem like a Schwartz
I see you
fan.
do that.
Yeah, like, so would you say you might be interested in joining this party? And then I didn't have time to go back through all of like the sub threads like of everyone. So we've got 3 more episodes
To make your stance known.
Yeah.
And just, we're not asking for money. We're just asking for your name for support.
We're just asking you to put yourself on the line for Schwartz.
Help us help Schwartz make this show better.
Yeah, because
we need the light.
We
Schwartz
really
is
do.
the light.
Yeah, we want to keep doing this, and we just think that Schwartz will
More
provide
candles
that.
and more butters.
Yeah.
Plural.
Okay.
Okay. So speaking of Party of Schwartz, my first comment is from Ron S33. At the risk of repeating myself, I absolutely love you guys and save your video until just before the next Valley episode drops. So I get the reminder and the deep dive I need. Very smart watching, if I may say so. You are a terrific combination and you truly make me laugh out loud. F him until his D drops off. OM effing G. Where can I donate to ensure this content keeps coming? And I wanted to read this not because it's so sweet and so complimentary, but because Nat started a Patreon, and I don't think we've told anyone about it.
Okay, but it's free. We don't even know what exactly we're doing with this thing yet, but someone wise told us we should just get started on there and have a free page. Everything on there is all the same stuff from YouTube right now, but it would be great if you guys have a Patreon, if you wouldn't mind following on Patreon, just so, I don't know, does it even have an algorithm? I don't know. Does it even show anything?
How about this? Signing up for it can't hurt whether there is or isn't an algorithm.
Exactly. I can't imagine it hurts to have more people subscribed. So, and if you have a Patreon and it's easy or you don't mind signing up, we would love it. And it's under Showmance. It's not under Nautify. It's just
under Showmance.
Under Showmance.
Okay, yes. But find us on Patreon, and eventually we'll figure out ways to
do something.
Do something, because Mama needs a new pair of shoes. Not these. These are great, but like another pair. Okay. Shannon Fall, you had so many LOL comments this week. I'm just reading one.
This week, every freaking week.
No, I know, but this week there just seemed to be a lot of bangers. But you wrote, Jax being surprised that Brittany still wanted to divorce him was because she called him on the trip when she was upset. I'm almost positive that that's how their abuse cycle works. I bet typically after a phone call like that, he thinks everything is fine in their relationship. And obviously this wasn't one of the funny comments. The reason I'm reading this is because I think you're right. I had the same thought as to, oh, this is their cycle, right? So like she'll give him a little bit of sugar and he thinks he can just come back in and we're not going to get divorced and we're fine, because I do think that you're right on target with that.
Yeah.
Jen O'Toole wrote, Jax had to be on Valium during that scene with Brittany. He absolutely wanted to be part of in a parenthetical, last ditch redemption arc. Then he knew that requires him to stay in control. I think he also thought that he would help influence Brittany to see him differently. However, not only did that approach not work, it actually allowed Brittany to not get distracted in a reactionary defensive way. She finally won a conversation without Jax leaving in a rage tornado. And listen, I agree with all of that. I didn't necessarily know if he was on something, but he did go in there with an agenda to like stay calm, not go off the handlebar. So he probably had to be on something.
He did look glassy and like just honed in a different way. There was a different vibe about him.
And also I think Brittany's at a point now, I'm actually talking myself into, no, he definitely was on something, because Brittany knows him so well that if she's coming out saying like, you're on a Vicodin right now, he probably was, because she knows him so well. And it was great. It backfired on him, because she was actually able to, for the first time all season, I think, land her point, really like dig in to him and stake her stance on like, you're not coming back. You're paying child support. I'm getting the house, all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
Good one, Jen. Rachel said, from watching VPR and seeing how Sheena operated, I think she's the person that saves the juicy info for the moment she can drop it with high impact. That's why we are just now hearing about him cheating. She knew how the news would be overshadowed by everything else that season on VPR, and was hoping to drop it later on the show, but never got to. And I agree with that completely. I know we're going to do a second episode tonight talking about all of this.
Yeah.
And I saw something earlier on the interwebs today that ties into all of this. So I'm saving it for that because I don't want to get in the weeds on this.
Yeah.
But I agree with you completely, Ray. Lauren Dawson said, hi, lovelies. Zach was a personal assistant for Nicole Scherzinger, and I love that for him and her. And I know we touched on this, but that made me so happy to learn that. I don't know how you knew it, but thank you for dropping that nugget into our laps. Joe Schmo said, girl, I had the same F word thought. Woofdy. Did they only do missionary? I bet you're fancy. And that was when they were Janet and Jason were in the tattoo parlor.
Yeah.
That, funnily enough, Coca got a tattoo at that Studio City tattoo parlor. She was talking about it on her Instagram page. But when he said fuck when he was getting the tattoo and Janet was doing the pearl clutching, I've never heard you say the F word before. And that's when I said, how bad is your sex life? Joe Schmo, you know what I'm talking about.
Coca has a ring tattoo as well, just like Janet's, and she's pissed that Janet bit her steez. And I was like, well, Janet's never done an original thing in her life. Why were you surprised that happened?
Don't get down on yourself, Christina.
Yeah, Janet was ripping off Coca.
Y'all got to watch this in addition to RSVPing for Party of Schwartz. And said, watching Kristen get engaged was MFing life affirming.
Yes.
And we talked about that, how it was such all of us, and when all three of us agree, we're on to something, except with the Nicole Andrea stuff, because we all missed that, even though we're all rooting for them. None of us
I know. I am so, it makes me feel better, honestly, that you even are that way, because you are looking for every reason to get on board with something. And we still are on board.
Oh, no, completely. Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, but you will always just be like, well, if they tell me they love each other, I'm just going to believe them. But even you're like, sounds good.
I will say this. I saw Shelly and Alondria on Keke Palmer's show, which is so good if you guys aren't watching it. I also just love Keke Palmer.
I got to tell you, I've heard exactly the opposite from a lot of people. They're like, they shouldn't have done the show because the show was just boring in general, whereas the other podcasts have actually been like juicy stuff come out, and it just was like a boring show.
Maybe I just like the nice stuff, and it was just
I
nice.
do like
and it was
Keeks.
like I love, and I also love Keke.
Yeah.
But she was talking about Nick, and that's when the way she was talking about him and how the relationship is developing and all of that, I started to see it, but better late than never. Anyway, okay. I just loved that y'all got to watch this.
Yeah.
Also felt that was life affirming with Kristen getting proposed to.
Yeah.
Carlite, this was so sweet. And of course it's coming from our sweet Carlite. She said, Miss Chevy, I just want to let you know strangers everywhere are thinking of you and praying for you. And just in case, because she wasn't tagged in it, Miss Chevy, just in case you weren't reading through every, all 200 comments, I just wanted to highlight that one for you from Carlite. And it is true.
Yeah. Even my mom, my mom doesn't comment on there because something's wrong with her YouTubes and just not letting her comment. YouTube's always deleting my shit too. But even my mom will be bring up things there are people that just don't reply to things that they're all reading and they're all asking about how you're doing and everything. So whatever that means to you, I know that it's just, random people, but there's just energy coming from all over for you. So
yeah.
All
the prayers and all the love.
Yeah.
Y'all got to watch this. Said, this was just a little tidbit about Ariana's brother. Ariana's brother dated Billy Lee when he was a friend on VPR, which that I remembered, but this I did not know. He was also arrested in the last year for trying to snuggle hundreds of pounds of the sticky icky into Germany. Did not know that.
I think he ended up getting off recently. I think he got dropped
100 pounds of weed. I hope he did.
Horseface Ethel said, I have 0 kids and can get more extreme plastic surge than Nia and still not look half as good.
Preach.
And I just, yes, we're all saying Nia, Nia, I hope you're seeing this. You look fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
regardless.
whatever you do with your old body, just holler.
Donate it to someone in need because it's, you look banging, girl.
Yeah.
But also do you and do whatever you want because it's your body, your choice.
I have a real question.
Yes.
How come when dudes tell women that it's it's like it doesn't. It's nothing. But women can
still
tell
is.
women that.
It still is nothing.
I can
What?
tell you why. I can tell you why.
We don't take it any more seriously hearing it from a girl or a dude. Like,
Then why say it? Like, what's the point? Like, what's the difference between?
because being
Oh,
a
no, I
fan,
take
everybody likes a fan. I'm not gonna. If so, I could say like I'm getting my boobs done, and literally every person that we've ever come across, say we got 10,000 subscribers, and they all told me you have the greatest boobs this side of wherever. I would be like, that's so nice. Anyway, so my appointment's tomorrow at 10 a.m. Can you drive me? Like, I just like if I've decided I want to do something, I've decided I want to do it. It's lovely to know that it maybe it's not as bad as I thought, but like, that's pretty much it for me.
I think it's also, I do like, how about this? I always say if I were to get right now, I'm sure at some point I will want different plastic surgery, but right now, if I were to get any plastic surgery, I would get a nose job. And this is my point. Natalie, when I told this to her, she goes, "You have my favorite nose in town," or something.
Yeah,
funny
you and
like
my best
that.
friend Elizabeth have like these noses that I'm like, nice work, my guy.
Thank you. And even though and I will say though, that does help me. And not that I think I have some horrible nose. It's not my favorite.
Yeah,
part
you
of
want
my
something
body.
different, and you think it's going to give you a little extra umph in your step.
It's just like when people get their season 2 teeth.
Yeah.
It's just like a nice little ding, right?
Yeah.
But when you say that to me, and then I look in the mirror, like maybe I'll see a picture, and the first thing I go to is my schnoz. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, if Natalie thinks it's cute, maybe I'm just reading into it too much. So it does affect how I think about it.
Okay.
And I think for other people, it's 50-50.
Beep, beep, beep.
But I always think still it's nice to know you got a fan.
Yeah.
But if a dude said that to you, you would go home and think the same thing.
The only reason I would maybe take it a little bit more weight from Natalie than from maybe like a straight dude, not a gay dude, a straight dude, is because you're kind of, as a straight woman, thinking that dude is probably trying to sleep with you or lay groundwork to sleep with you. Not if it was you, but if it was like another.
That's the only reason I tell her she looks hot. I want to bang her.
Exactly.
There you go. So if you are a straight woman and a straight man tells you something, you're probably thinking it's like, oh, because
Yeah.
there's just you just want to bang me
Yeah.
on some level.
Can
But if-
everyone just chime in and tell Courtney what you think of her nose?
Yeah.
Because I know it's going to be good. So I'm not even worried about that. I'm garnering bad press here. Like just tell her, save your money.
I'm going to show you a picture. Sometimes it could just be a little too much, a little too matcha. Okay. Anyway, but also I'm grateful. It does everything a nose needs to do, and I shouldn't complain. Okay. Cubby said, "Hello, gang. I want to make 2 possible future requests. 1, a GoFundMe for Mike Mark to replenish his Meteor wine supply. High-end wine brings out the very best in him and literally makes him smile. 2, ask Kristen to create a James May t-shirt that says Vibe Killer with Natalie's graphic of Janet/Voldemort on it. After it sells out, we then need hoodies, phone cases, and tote bags. Keep up the great recap. XO, meow. P.S. I can breathe easy again. The snacks are back. I am officially a Dots honey mustard addict. It's all your fault, and I hate you for it. And I love you for it, but my waistline doesn't. And I just thought that was all.
I have to,
adorbs.
because I started to write this back in a comment. Every time I try to do things on my phone, it just, whatever. I literally bought, I'm not joking, I bought a blazer that, and Courtney can attest that every time I put it on, she'll go, the tag's still on that. I'm like, because I think it should go back. It's like can barely button. The Dots have sealed that deal. Like that thing is not going to button ever. And I swear to God, it's the Dots. Like nothing's changed, but like
just the Dots.
it's the Dots because I'll eat them in the day. And then like it's when I wake up at my 3 a.m.s are usually like healthier food, like fruit, yogurt, almonds, whatever. It's been like quarter of a bag of Dots. I know that's what the kicker is. So I'm with you so hard.
This last one is from Mia Taylor, and Mia says, "I work out while I watch y'all's takes." And a few people have said that. I know Meteor says like,
well,
"Oh,
he says we're in the health and wellness space."
Yes,
Woo!
exactly. I watch you guys when I'm on the treadmill. And I just want to say, because there was someone else who was like, "Oh, I'd watch you guys, but it's too long." And I want to say to you, have you tried watching us on the treadmill? Because it might just really turn those long podcasts into something you really love, because it helps you work out longer.
Yeah.
And that's why we're a health and wellness podcast.
And tips. Hot
And
tips.
Hot tips.
Yeah.
You're up, Mark.
Nicheless Boomer. I think the reality verse spoke, and we had some influence on production's decision to fire Jax. Let's hope so. I don't think Baskin and company realized how the audience would be completely turned off by that toxicity. I hope that it was Alex Baskin and Bravo coming to their senses, but I don't know if they did.
I think
to
it
be
was.
honest.
I do.
I don't think it was. It's money. They were losing money. They thought it was about Jax, and so they got rid of him. It has nothing to do with anything else. If the ratings were up this year and it was all for Jax, Jax would have a job.
Fair point,
He'd
fair
get a
point.
fucking raise. Morticia 777. I don't want Mark to die. He is the heart of the show. Mark thanks you, Morticia.
Listen, the heart.
That's
Yeah,
what it
maybe
says.
the spleen,
Yeah.
kidney, not the
Maybe
heart.
the butt cheeks, something.
Well, Mark replied to her.
What did
Oh,
Mark
good.
say?
Third
Mark
person
said-
talk. You know how I love a man.
It's not me. It's Mark.
Oh,
Mark can't
God.
die. Mark is an inspiration. Those live on forever.
Oh God.
And he's right.
Mm.
Nettie, yes, no more Jax. Mega hand claps, so many hand claps. Thank you, Bravo. Finally doing the right thing. We'll give it to them. They did the right thing.
Yeah,
I don't
we're going
think
to
they
take
did
it.
the
We're not
right-
going to look a gift horse in the mouth.
Marty Hands. I love that Janet says, if he's drinking, I don't want to be there. A threat? Or can we actually watch them have fun and not have a I hate my life lies tossed around for a reaction? Let's hope so. I would fucking drink until I had to go to rehab if Janet promised not to show up.
I know. I want there to be like a theme party of like that Janet stayed home. Like that's just like it's like a banner when you walk in. It says Janet stayed home.
Or just every party has outside Janet, there's alcohol here. Janet, Danny's drunk
Janet,
here.
Danny is a waste.
Danny was drunk here. That should
Wait,
be a
Danny
shirt.
told me it's COVID. Nope. He's made a miraculous recovery. He's in here. He's
yeah,
wasted.
spreading
Don't
COVID
come
and
in.
barfing. Yeah, all over everyone.
That's gross. Lynn Bendy. I doubt that Brittany really likes Janet. She's just afraid to get on her bad side. Maybe. I made, I think this is Yvonne Pingleton, just spreading rumors, Yvonne. Bravo's going to do a show with the Toms and Jax.
Why?
No.
Why do you want to make this day horrible?
I think Yvonne-
Don't
Why
even put
Why
that
do
out
you-
into the uni.
Yeah.
I think Yvonne and Johnny Smiles are brother and sister.
Yeah. Maybe you're punking us.
I just want to give a shout out to Lee Armstrong. You had some comments. I needed this today, but like just a shout out. You're always so happy to see our stuff, and we feel just as good as you feel seeing it. That when you say that you feel so good about it.
Yeah, beyond.
Lee and Carlite. Like
Yeah.
every week, Carlite.
Oh,
It's almost like she's like has it on her to-do list of like make sure the friends know it's
they're friending.
Yeah, they're friending and
Yeah.
to keep on
And
friending.
Support them so we
Yeah,
keep friending.
yeah.
It's the sweetest ever.
I know. And the fact that she after Carlite has been here, I want to say she's been
From
one of
jump.
our like from Southern Charm, the very first like
No, I
episodes
went-
we were putting out, and for her to chime in on Party Schwartz now, it's just it's a full circle
rewarding
moment
vote
here.
that
Yeah,
you've earned.
it's exactly. Yeah.
I just want to give an award to the person who made the nicest comment all week on the Valley. That would
Mark's great.
be Carrie Wetzel. Jax is now the number 2 guy.
Huh. Well, what's number?
Number 2, because he's a piece of shit.
Oh, like poo.
I don't. Jax is now the number 2 guy. The poo-poo head, according to James Kennedy. Wow, just now realizing all the really bad guys on these shows. Still on for Party of Schwartz.
Yeah. Woo.
Bravo does have a lot of shitheads. Jax is not number 2. If you're going backwards, if you're counting from the bottom up, I'd like to know who's on the bottom. Then maybe he's number 2 from the bottom. He's not number 2. That's so high. That's the first
yeah, but
place
I thought-
loser.
But wait, I thought we were saying number 2 as in poo.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Maybe.
Well, I'm going with
that's
that. You don't need
Yeah.
to wonder. You just
it. You just go with it.
what is it? You already said if you wish for it, then it is.
Hmm?
You said that, and there's a comment about it too. You said that last week.
McFix.
I think it was McFix. Yeah.
If you wish it can be, it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Raja, can we also mention and just give a round of applause? Well done, Brittany, for not giving him the code. And it's
Fuck yeah.
funny how you're smart enough to do that, but weren't smart enough not to tell him about Kristen's engagement. Yeah, pretty
Is,
funny.
yeah. Is that
Yeah, funny wink wink.
Yeah, I think
Raja.
that's a funny wink.
Yeah. So I was going to read this comment during our episode, but these two just kept yapping too much. This is Richard Jordan. This is about Janet, but I think it's also, you would agree, if it's about everybody on this stupid fucking show. Jenna is so annoying and thinks we're all dumb. We don't need Kristen or anyone to help us with the comments. We have eyes and ears. Glad you guys pointed that out, as I've commented on it before because it annoyed me so much. Just everything she does shows that she thinks her castmates as well as the viewers are idiots, and she's really smart. We all see you, Janet.
I don't want to. I want to see her stupid face.
I want Janet blinders.
Yeah.
Another one from Morticia. At this point, I don't think either Mike or Mark are cut out for Bravo reality shows. Maybe from here on out, the only recaps Mark should do are golf and Little House on the Prairie.
And bikini shows.
I'm down for bikini shows. And I think you're probably not wrong. Like I said, I don't know if I'll be here next season. Colette McCabe. How can you say Brittany takes care of everything when she knows nothing about her house, tax, and mortgage, etc., and she is overspending massively? Touche.
Wait,
Hold on.
Yeah.
Frank Drummond, is that you?
Now it's Colette McCabe.
She did not know what the mortgage was. He paid the mortgage and she paid all the bills. So she was just trusting that he was paying the mortgage, just like he trusted her that she was paying DWP and Wi-Fi and all the other things.
Yeah.
And when she realized, she didn't know that he had back taxes.
Yeah, like there are bills that come at, like Mike handles all the business stuff. We have a ton of stuff in the business stuff because there's so much entertainment stuff that we have to pay for that it like will come out of the business. The only way that I would know that he wasn't paying the Peacock subscription is if I logged in one day and I could, and I'm like, why no play my shows? Like that's all. That's the only reason I would know, because that's his area and I've got mine. So
yeah, and she didn't get them into debt, and she was paying her taxes. So I don't think she was overspending, unless I missed something.
I can't believe that, like how she said that their mortgage went from $8,000 to 17 or 18 grand a month.
I would.
And that, like, if she didn't roll that into the house payment, he would have gone to jail.
Yeah, for tax evasion.
Dude, she should have let that motherfucker go to jail. Because like, that's all it is? Are we square after that? I might even go to jail for $1.2 million. I might go to jail.
I wonder if that happened, if she let that happen. My guess is it also would have affected her. Not that she would have gone to jail, but she would have lost the house. It would have affected her credit. She probably couldn't buy it. She would have had to file bankruptcy. Then that's 7 years. So like, I think that's probably why she saved him. Wasn't completely altered. Anyway.
Y'all got to watch this. Janet is very get off my lawn. Very Clint Eastwood energy. Or Sherry O'Terry was in a sketch where she keeps some neighborhood kid's ball, like a ball in like a Brooklyn or something. That is what Janet gives. Sorry, super zooted while listening and can't stop typing. What does zooted mean?
Well, zooted now means something. I think it just means like maybe like high energy or amped, or could also mean drunk.
Yeah.
Zooted means intoxicated or drunk.
Yeah.
Sick.
Stoned or high.
Having a good time.
Yeah.
Woo! Tiny Panther. I knew Jasmine was a real estate agent. You might be the only one besides Janet, or besides Jasmine, that knew that. Also, do you think Sheena is soft launching a divorce from Kitten Hills? Brock?
I wondered that same thing, and I will say it didn't even cross my mind until I read your comment. I have read the book since, and we'll go into it. Yeah, but I have to say, like, that stuck with me, and it still sticks with me, like, because that is really just the perfect way to
soft launch.
Yeah, just to, if that's what you're gonna do.
Get the temperature.
You'll get everybody on your side, and you'll just get everybody used to the fact that like you have a daughter and you're still leaving your husband, and here's why. And so, yeah.
Julie Brown, another drive across the bridge from Tampa to St. Pete. I love that you listen to us on your drives. I also answered in the comments your question about AGT and Howard Stern, and we talked a little bit about it here. I have a Truth for Peace one, but I'm not going to read it because I'll get yelled at for a week.
There's a bunch of them, but just leave me the one. Hold on, please.
It's not the Hulk one, is it?
Maybe.
Okay.
Isn't that the funniest one?
It's pretty funny. With the nicknames?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Only gets better. The tattoo scene made me super uncomfy. I don't think tattooing your finger after people claimed you took your ring off is a romantic gesture. It screams insecurity. Also, let's not compare ourselves to Tommy and Pam.
Come on.
Which
Come on.
no one should, because no one compares.
That was the first porn Courtney ever owned.
No, well, that's not true. It's also more of a love story. I made my entire book club read The Dirt by Motley Crue, which if you haven't read it, read it. It's excellent. And then I read Tommyland. And then at my book club that I hosted about The Dirt, I made them all watch it because I found it to be a love story. They really were disgustingly in love.
Yeah.
I know it's troublesome, but anyway.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a great movie.
Haley and Dave, who I'm assuming they both signed up for Party of Schwartz.
I
not
was
just
thinking
Haley.
we should count them as two.
Yeah,
I
that's
think you
true.
can.
Yeah. Haley, Dave, sorry, but you let Haley in charge of the
I mean, I might throw
YouTube.
Butters on there at some point. 'cause,
But
you know.
also, Haley and Dave, 'cause there's two people that are requesting this. They would also like a party of Mike.
Okay.
So I
What's
was
your next
trying to put
comment?
in a petition to see if we could get that going.
You
and then
didn't have Dave. I think
also-
we're taking Haley to the Schwartz party.
Nah, we're doing two parties. Also, Haley and or Dave, but probably Haley. Haley is Scottish and Australian, and she would love to hear you guys give that a
That's
shot.
Not gonna happen. I don't even know.
Well,
do you know how to
the
do
only
this?
Scottish accent I can do, it's Glaswegian. I don't know how specific we need to get, is and I can only say two sentences. It's, have you seen my new fair boots? They're perfect. And there's a brown mouse in Dougie's house. That's all I can say.
Well, can you do one that's a cross of British and Scottish?
Australian.
Or,
Well,
oh God,
No, Australian and Scottish. But no, isn't Glasgow in Scotland? Isn't Glaswegian Scottish?
I was
It's
just
just,
going
it
off of
isn't.
her.
It is. It's just not in Australia.
Oh, I thought she said she's Scottish and Australian.
Yeah, she says that her accent.
Oh, is a mix
reflects
of
that.
them.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on your own. As Taylor Swift says, you're on your own, kid. But
And
have you
then-
seen my new fair boots? They're perfect. Head, move. Joe Schmo, that's for you.
I will just wrap it up with a couple people who had a problem with my swimming comments.
So many people.
My
Oh
mom,
my God.
my mom texted me.
Yeah,
and
Gina,
goes,
what the fuck?
and goes, so you had a swim instructor when you were 2.
Gina, I
There
would
were so many
expect you
people
of
in
all
there.
people to jump in that pool. I think that I'm a little old, and I replied to somebody about this. Listen, my grandma had a pool at her place, and she chucked me in it and said, "Wiggle your arms and legs." And then eventually I came back up to the surface and was like, "Oh, cool! I think I can swim now."
How old were you when she did this?
Dude, I can't eat. Very, very young. Like, and then we spent every summer at her complex with Hawaiian Tropic suntan oil on, because it was the good old days, swimming and splashing and having a good old time. I didn't have any swim instructors. So anybody who got thrown in the pool by their grandma or grandpa or mom and dad, sign up for Party of Mike. Anybody who had swim instructors, my apologies. That's great that you guys had swim instructors for your kids.
Listen, we talked more
Doesn't sound
about
like a
this
sincere
though when
apology.
I know. Yeah.
Just wanna say.
We talked about this because so today, in today's age, okay, let's start here. If it's 1980 and there is no YouTube yet, I would think I know how. I can just teach her myself. I know I can, but then it's kind of a big deal. Like, you should probably learn the foundations. Like, you should probably learn how to swim in a certain fashion. I'm not saying, you know what? I'm not even saying that you should. I'm saying that any responsible parent, that idea might cross through their mind that maybe there's a specific way they should learn how. Maybe I don't know. In 1980, so you hire a swim instructor to just get that out of the way. It's probably a day or 2 days that you can get those things out of the way and it's done. Today, I think that what you were saying was that just YouTube it. If you don't know it, everything's accessible now. Yes, today you could probably just YouTube those things and get if you wanted to do it yourself, if you didn't want to spend the money, if you wanted to have that experience with your own kid and didn't think I'm not going to hire some schmo to come over here and fucking show this. So I think the times were just different. If we were all taught in the 80s how to swim, right?
I also think that it depends on your relationship with your child. It's not good or bad, but maybe it's like, I remember when I was learning how to drive, my mom taught my brother to drive, taught my sister how to drive. And then when it got to be, and by the way, my mom and I have a great relationship. My mom was like, I work a full-time job. I've raised 3 children. My husband is not going to do this. I am exhausted. I have $200 extra this month. I am getting this kid a fucking driving instructor, and I am not sitting in a car arguing with her over what STOP is. Like, I just think also, because I remember when I was learning how to swim with a swim instructor, and my brother had one and my sister had one. My brother's also your age, just putting that out there. My mom was, they put me in the water and I screamed bloody murder. And my mom's like, I can't do it. I cannot be in the water with this baby listening to her. I will just take her out and she will never learn how to swim. And the swim instructor said, that's why you hired me. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I can handle it if you can handle it. And I'm going to teach this kid how to swim.
Yeah.
And she did. And I was undefeated in the backstroke on my swim team. Anyway, I'm just busting your balls. It's fun. People don't have to have them, but they're not bad for having them.
Okay, I'm going to start off with Carrie Peacock. Nothing very enlightening or interesting to add, but how do you guys know everything that lives rent-free in my head? That song Natalie sings at the very end of this is one of those things, and that high note. Loving you guys is easy because you're beautiful. I think she means... You
really nail that note, Nat.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I put it in a script. Like it was a song that was playing in like the intro when you're like meeting everyone. I really love it that much. I grew up on that song.
Isn't it Donna Summer?
It's Mimi Ripperton. Coca-Cola says, Mark after dark dropping his cheeses. It's, oh my God, crying. Be right back.
That was pretty funny when you had your slippery Cheez-Its.
Yeah. I'm surprised that I caught it. Thank God that DaVinci Resolve, if no one knows, dropped their multicam AI edit, and it's really helpful. But now that I'm using that multicam thing, I'm seeing all of your shots so I can see like who has reactions, and because I was just kind of doing it old school before, and so I would have totally missed that because the AI just goes by voice.
Yeah,
well, it can go by more, but that's the fastest way to do it. And I ain't got time to wait around for the rest. But anyhow.
You know, there's always been a multicam edit in DaVinci.
I know, but now it also does the AI cut. I can't like if you want to manually cut something, you go right ahead.
You go right ahead, Mark.
Heather Pike says, please not Sheena and Brock on the Valley. I didn't like Brock because of the DV and not taking care of his kids. The only reason I started liking Brock was because of Lala. I love her. Brock reminds me of a gold-digging woman who didn't come from money, then hit the jackpot with Sheena. Sheena likes to look perfect too, so jackpot on both fronts. Listen, I don't know anything about this DV thing, but
no, me either. I do want Lala's take on the cheating thing though while she was pregnant.
I want Janet's take. Dying for that. Really sitting on pins and needles over here for a little notification to pop up. Oh, it's Jeanette Allen. I think Janet and Sheena think Nia is the favorite because season 1, Nia and Danny had a very good edit with their honesty. Everyone thought they were a beautiful couple. I think Sheena, her and Brock would fit in nicely, which Janet.
Jeanette Allen also said, no more accents, please.
Yeah, that's not happening. No, she told you to.
I know more Beatles, less Cockney.
Yeah.
I knew it. I said it was Cockney.
Oh, yeah. But here's the thing. I thought we were kind of doing the Beatles. Like it's pretty.
No, the Beatles are more Liverpool. She's from Liverpool.
Okay, give me one sentence of Liverpool.
I don't know it. I would have to go home and study it.
Well,
mumbly, I told you.
Oh, she's not mumbly. Okay, I'm just gonna do it how I think the Beatles talk.
Okay.
I think Janet and Sheena think Nia's the favorite because season 1, Nia and Danny had a very good edit and their honesty. Everyone thought they was a beautiful couple. I think Sheena thought her and Brock would fit in nicely, which is Janet and Jason would have loved. Well, it's easy if you try, Dick.
Nailed it.
It's nice having you here while you were here.
No, Jeanette Allen, please come back next week.
No, I'm going back to Mrs. Doubtfire. Yeah. Hello. I think Janet is jealous of how Danny worships his wife. That is why she is trying to convince the world Jason is the same. Also, Janet wants to now look vulnerable, saying she doesn't feel good enough. She wants to be Nia. Jason probably calls out Nia's name in his sleep. Jeanette from England. I use my Sunday name because I usually answer to Janet. Nevermore.
I love a good nevermore.
I changed it.
Oh. Oh. Jeanette, please feel free to put in a nevermore. A waltzed, a nevermore, a fortnight. I love all those terms.
Joe Schmo says, Meteor wine every time. When Mike lost his hat, I lost my shit giggling. And besides Will singing and Andrea Bocelli in Spanish at the end, I'm sure there's no accent in Step Brothers, my dude. I fucking knew it.
No, listen, and Joe Schmo, you're the end all
Movie
be all.
buff.
I told her I had Talladega Nights in my head. That's what I was thinking.
You're not a good movie watcher. Those two aren't even alike at all.
But the same people are in it.
Yeah.
Big whoop.
Big whoop.
If you're not first, you're last.
I need to start using that again. Big whoop.
Big whoop. Or I started using dur.
Dur. Big whoop. To the max. I'm going to throw that in.
Yeah. Carrie Wetzel says, Zach looked great on Watch What Happens Live, but the Kentucky Muffin had on a strange corset with a green low-cut button-down shirt.
No, Zach looked fabulous. The jaw line was jawing.
I just watched Ariana Grande do it yesterday because my phone listens to me, and now I'm getting fucking in the feed.
Yeah.
This is from today. Mary Aika Kent said, "This disappeared."
Oh no! Don't panic.
It's back. Mary Aika Kent. That was a close call, and she really needed to get this out. So, you guys, I didn't know where to message you.
Here, you nailed it.
You got it.
Nailed it.
Yeah, you found us. But I am watching The Valley right now, and I'm so pissed off, and I'm watching it home alone, and I have no one to look at and scream. And just trust me, the scene at Jack's condo where he comes for Danny, and then Jason co-signs. I want to come through the screen, take his stupid over testosterone coked out head, and shove it through a window. And I am not a violent person. Doesn't sound
We never
like
thought you were.
No, I shouldn't be watching this alone. I am so tired of this narrative they have created about Danny and his lack of accountability. And all of a sudden, he's a sexual predator and an alcoholic coming from the biggest asshole and liar and trash as human on the planet. Trashiest human on the planet. Okay, sorry, this is about the current episode, not the one y'all recorded, but I had nowhere to shout out. Thank you for listening.
We're here for you.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. If you shout, we hear. As long as you type it in the comments.
McFix says, Mark, she quotes you, if you wish you can, then you can.
I said this at the top of the episode.
Oh, put this quote on something. Mark on the meteor. Really?
It's so good we could say it twice. I just
know
wanted
it's
to let
true.
you know.
Melanie Stojanovic, have you guys heard the theory, which I heard on quite a few other podcasts, that Sheena, along with Brock for the money, made up the whole cheating scandal as they knew it would sell a lot of books? I guess it's a little curious that every excerpt that she's provided to magazines is about that topic. I'm not saying I believe it, but when have we ever known Sheena to keep a secret for more than 24 hours? Just some food for thought. Love you guys and your show. Melanie Stowe. And what's Janovic?
Maybe she's just like nicknaming herself. Like, you know, if you're like.
I worked really hard on figuring that name out, Melanie. Melanie from Maryland. Do you know Vita?
Dude, what if she's like, yeah?
What if
Vita, my
Melanie's
neighbor?
Like, what
Vita
if Melanie's
McCampbell?
like, this is Vita, it's my burner account?
Yeah, totally.
This is the meteor talking.
Nettie says, agree, Nia should not choose that plastic surgeon.
Thank you, Nettie.
And I'm not closing it out because Mike's actually closing out the show tonight, but I am doing one of truth for peace for freedom.
Before you start, someone said Sandoval could teach me how to play the trumpet. Does Sandoval play the trumpet, or does he just have trumpet players in his band?
You're going to his house.
No, I'm not. I'm not taking lessons. I just didn't know. I'm not taking lessons from him. I'll teach myself how to play the trumpet. Thank you very much. Taught myself how to play the piano. A little help from my dad, and the guitar, and the drums. So I don't need any lessons from Tom Sandoval. But I didn't know he played the trumpet.
I finally figured out who Jax Taylor reminds me of. It's Tom Sizemore. It seems like they share the same afflictions, personality disorders, and rage. Jax's Indian name is Regifter of Orchid. How rude. If you're going to regift, it should be done on the down low. Poor Schwartz. In a previous episode, Jax claims Brittany and him are going at it tick for tack. Ha, what a dummy. He probably means tic-tac-toe in his head with himself all day long. He meant to say tit for tat. Now he doesn't want to throw Brittany under the bridge. He meant to say under the bus. Thank God Jax is a sociopath with low intelligence. That protects all of us somewhat. How frightening would it be if he was actually smart? He admitted to felony grand theft on camera when he admitted to stealing Brittany's wedding ring. Bye-bye, Jax, you big dummy. P.S. We did find out this episode that Jasmine is the real estate agent for Danny and Nia. Is that why she didn't get activated against Danny on the boat? Or is she truly over it? It's just suspicious timing that she's cool now that there's money to be made from Danny and Nia. And I gotta say, I never fucking thought about this, but now I am, because Jasmine has always taken every chance she gets. She's like, I am still mad.
I hope that's
I'm
just
not over
editing
it.
on the coming attractions for the reunion. Because if we are you forgave him. If it didn't feel natural, Jasmine, say
I guarantee you that's
editing.
yeah.
I think so too.
I think that's going to be well, I did apologize at the bar, and then I thought we were good. I didn't buy your apology. Like, it's going to be at the bar. But then when we went to the other thing and
brewery.
you took us to that, then that's what
that's
gonna be,
what I
some
think too.
fucking More bullshit.
Well,
Stupid show.
anyway,
Listen,
give us
are
your
you ready?
encore of Truth for Peace.
Ready?
I'm not ready.
What are you doing, Mike?
Truth for peace.
And then what?
And then I'm going to bed.
Oh my God.
Do, 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 do.
Truth for peace for freedom. That's so funny that Mike turns into Mark when his internal Hulk starts to come out. The truth is, we probably all need a second name. We're all human. My aunt calls my Uncle Ed Richard when he starts transforming. Richard as in dick. Yeah, we got that part.
I didn't.
Acting like a dick. The daughter is just like her dad, so her nickname is Little Richard. I love your grandpa. I just love giving nicknames to people. It also runs in the family. My grandpa gave all 16 of his grandchildren nicknames, and some of them weren't very nice. He wasn't the kindest man, but he loved his family. One not so nice nickname was Spot. Given to his grandson who didn't say or do too much. He was always playing video games. Maybe it was a motivation to get a personality. Thankfully, I got a good one. Hey, fucking man, you did. Mine was 32 because I was always smiling. I call my guy Hot Sauce when he starts flipping out.
That's so cute.
That is so cute.
Now they calls me asshole. But yes, I agree with your grandfather and I agree with you. And everyone needs a nickname and everyone needs an alter ego to blame all their bad behavior on. That's why I have Mark.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Okay, we have to go talk about Gina's book now.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah. And if you have a Patreon, just
and sign
follow
up for
us
the
on
Patreon.
Patreon. Yeah.
I got to get one. I do.
Maybe for my birthday, she'll give me a Patreon.
For your birthday, I'll get me a Patreon.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.